where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. People fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not know. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust, my people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us. So they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Good evening, and let me say welcome again to another fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line. The program discusses issues about Liberia, and we get from the top to the bottom of each topic that we discuss. We give our honest opinions and what we think about the events. I have with me today a house full of my co-hosts, I have the only lady so far, Madam Orita Menon. She's there in a country called Sweden in Scandinavia. And also we have Mr. Jima Kamara, and he's in the UK, uh, Manchester to be specific. And Paul the Lord Chiliple, he will be on soon. He's also in the UK. And we expect uh, our newest guest panelist, Madam Mary Masukwe. My name is Linford Goy. I'm here in Norway. Let us say welcome on this beautiful 6th day of January. And we got 6 days in the new year, guys. How you guys doing? It's 6 days already. I mean, just a few days ago we were looking at Christmas and then came the new year, and then today is the 6th of January. Are we moving this fast? How you guys doing? Jamal, I think you are muted.
I want to give the lady the chance to go first.
Oh yeah, so ladies first, yeah.
Oh, you're right. I mean, the days are moving so quick in January of this new year, but so far, I'm just waiting, anticipating to see what's coming up next in life, in the world, in our beloved country, Mama Liberia too.
Okay, that's great. It's good to have hope and to look forward, to the future. That's great.
Yeah, for Linford, for us in the UK, specifically Manchester, we're doing great. Nothing too much to worry about. Weather is treating us very well, and the court is getting better and better. And we hope to see a lot of football coming out this season. So good news. And I want to say hats up to the people of Arsenal doing very well. 5 points ahead of Man City. That's for football lovers. So good news for you. But keep in mind that United has been there before, so we're going to do something.
Okay, yeah. I mean, for me, actually, I don't have any comments today when it comes to football because I know we are at the table. So all our comments come under the table. When you are at the top of the table, you don't listen to what's coming from under the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. But having said that, I would like to say welcome officially to the show. If you just joining us, let's recognize a couple of people that I think were here that were just passing through. Mamoni Castle, the Reverend Romeo Adolphus Brown, and also Bauru Jada. That name is so hard to pronounce. And a couple of guys. So if this is your first time coming on the show, this is Bottom Line. We discuss issues here. And tonight on our plate, guys, while we await Paul to come, we'll be discussing the only headline in Liberia at the moment. That is the cache of arms and ammunition that were reportedly arrested at the Freeport of Monrovia by the Liberia National Police. And according to information reaching us, the arms and ammunition are already in the possession of the police. The quantity that was arrested and some also taken from private homes somewhere in Broadville are in the possession of the police. And the police RG, that is the Inspector General Patrick Sulu, admitted that the container that was allegedly carrying, or that is allegedly carrying the container, or the arms, was in their possession. They had it locked, sealed after they made the first discovery, and then they left it sealed without opening all other contents in there. They left it sealed so that they will go after those people who were already linked to it. And so there will be several questions that we'll be asking tonight. And I don't know if you have heard anything from the police as of today or any new development from any other source, but what I do know is the only information is that of yesterday from that press conference. And the questions that have been, on people's mind and several others is that who possibly would have brought in those arms into the country, and why would somebody bring such arms into the country at this time? And what are the motives? Everything that one does, if you do good, If you do that, there must be motive. Okay, if you go to school, your motive is to live a better life, get a better job, and improve your life. If you commit a crime, you have a motive for doing that. Those of you who know things about criminal justice. And then we'll also be looking at what will happen next after these arms are all collected and people who are possibly connected to it are apprehended. What happens next? So these are just few of what we'll be looking at tonight, and I believe that as the discussion progresses, there will be other ideas coming up, and we can discuss it. And let me give this quick disclaimer that uh, whatever we discuss here, we are not authorities on any issues. It's just our personal views as panelists on this show. So do not hold us responsible for what we say. We have a slip of tongue. We could say, oh, it's Linford who brought the arm or Paul who brought it. That doesn't mean that Paul was right to say or Linford was right to say. So it's just our honest opinion that we'll be giving here. And please, so do not hold us responsible for what we say here, or you can interpret or understand it the way you want, but we are not responsible also for how you understand what we say. So that's just a disclaimer. And so, guys, let's get the ball rolling. Have any of you heard about the arms and ammunition that were reportedly arrested by the Liberia National Police? I mean, that was yesterday, December 5, January 5, 2023. Have any of you heard about it? So, general is open to anybody, whether you have heard or you haven't heard, and what did you hear? You can give your view.
Oh, that's the hottest and happening in Liberia right now. So I think, everybody on the panel and a lot of Liberians, have heard, and they are following it.
Good. Gentlemen, the lady had talked. Paul, you are muted.
Good evening, guys, and good evening to our viewers. It's good to be back here. Yes, Linfa, to your question, yeah, I think it's to talk about. But I think what we could do is to play a little bit of it, and then we'll listen to what they say, and then we can take it from there to some of our viewers who was not opportune to listen to what the press conference was all about, and then we can roll with it.
Yeah, okay. I think you're right. That if you play that video, that will lay the foundation for the whole discussion. So let it roll.
So let me go into the video. So, but while going to the video, how you guys doing anyway?
We do fine. Your Messi, he come from football city, so he all right. Me, I'm on
Right,
chocolate.
right. So,
Jamal was just
anyway,
trying to say the
this
best
this this
war.
thing about
That's one.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna roll it now, guys. So
Yeah,
it's gonna
let's
be
hear what
part
they
of
say.
our discussion. So let's listen to what the interview, the press conference was all about. Just a little clip.
Friends, Simon D. Sweat. All I went to school. I entered university in 2005. I graduated from the university in 2001. I could not afford.
Confiscation of some cash arms. The arms are confiscated in the Freeport of Monrovia. We have gathered intelligence from various sources, and our intelligence led us to the Freeport of Monrovia. The intelligence was so huge, and the security apparatus and all of whom are concerned with security was so agile and were really on top of the game. We got to the Freeport. The Small Arms Commission was of, not Small Arms, the Arms Commission was of great help to this process. The custom was also a help to the process. NSA, police, the LSP, the Seaport police, we all went as a joint security, and we had our intel on this container. We went to the Freeport, opened up this container. The first few boxes that was such, we discover some heavy weapons. We talk about military weapons in those boxes. So as we speak, the container is sealed up. we are going to further inspect the entire container. When we got the information, we stopped the process of searching the entire container because it's already in our possession, because we did not want information to flow, because we're doing everything humanly possible to ensure that we arrest those corporates involved. So our intelligence also led us to one Barbara Deba, who lived on the Uru. She is in contact with the guy who sent these material on board container. We managed to apprehend her, and we also apprehended one Melvina M. Pine. She is the broker for this particular company, and from our investigation, we gather substantive information that led us as far as the Broadway community, G4 community. Went in the Broadway community. Last night was late, so we called on a house that was identified to be for one Benjamin, for Bob Benjamin Baker. Bob Benjamin Baker. He is the one who's sending these military weapons to Liberia.
Info?
Okay. At least we have a basic idea of how the police operated and what they did, and what they're going to do. Because first he said they got intelligence, and then they acted upon the intelligence. He described it as huge, and there were paramilitary organizations that were involved: the NSA, the Freeport Police. We call them put security, and the rest of the people. And another disclaimer: Facebook, these graphic pictures, we just have to produce them probably to back our description of what we're discussing. So sorry for the graphic content of the picture, but we all heard what the RG said, and he said that they've made series of arrests, and he was specific with few names. One, Deborah Deba, and Barbara Deba, and one. If you go further in that video, when they went to Broadway, also there was one Tamba arrested in the city, according to them, in the same house where they collected a cache of arms. And if you go further into that video, you'll know that when they took the press to the police station, they sorted the arms into groups, where this one came from, and all of that. So at least we have a basic idea of what happened. But guys, I think the basic question here is, who do you think we want to bring arms into this country at this time, given where we came from just over a decade ago, the physical wounds, the physical damage can still be seen on the walls in Liberia? Who you think we want to do such thing at this time? I mean, without calling any specific name, but we have in mind, we just contemplate in our mind, who do we think? Can it be private person? Can it be like a group? Can it be a government? Outside of the investigations are still going on. But what do we think? What do the people think? Give a flow.
Okay. Do you hear me, guys?
Clearly.
Okay, let me come through. This is a open secret. You cannot have such a thing going to the country, as well Liberia is a sovereign state, without being properly checked. And getting to the level where it got to the port of Liberia, Monrovia specific, it is at the port, and it just got discovered. Probably some payment has not been done to clear the port, the container. That's the reason there was a noise about it, and they begin to find out that what was in the container. I can assure you, and I can let you know from past experience on this information, somebody from the top must be involved that has connection with the government. Could be the government has there could be illegal arms being bought by the government to come to the country. Could be legal, but would be some information not being delivered on time. It came out, But I can tell you, nothing of such will come to Liberia at this time. First and foremost, you will know those who do container shipment. Before you put a container to send to your country, it has to be checked. You have to be checked thoroughly. You roll on there's a laser to check everything that's in that container. That no contraband will be sent to that country. But why much of arms? So it got to the point and got offloaded it got offloaded from the ship. Will you any company that is doing shipment will not take any goods on board without knowing what is the content. So this is what they're saying, that we don't know who delivered this, all kind of thing. But anyway, the good news is they're linking up to where it came from, so they know what's going on. It's bringing me to the mind of the $16 billion issue, which we up to still have questions about. It brings to the mind of the $100,000 worth of
200 million.
100 million cocaine worth of cocaine caught in Liberia. Still a question. So those are still misery to be discussed, to be answered. Questions on Liberians' mind. What are the answers to these questions? So you can see, I'll tell you, a couple of weeks right now, the issue of this cash of arms funds at the port will just disappear in thin air. So I can tell you right now, from past informations we gather, somebody somewhere has some information, and this is nothing new. It can't just go. This is not a smuggle arm, or it's not illegal. It's something that the government must have some information to tell us, but they're not telling us what's going on. That's one take on this, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Good. Fair enough. Paul, you want to take a go?
Yes, thank you, Linfa. The thing is, I have shipped container to Liberia before, and not once, but many times. So, a few years back, they used to have the thing they call Viva. Before you send anything, you have to list of what items you have in. If you're sending barrel, you have to list everything what you're sending. Now, before those containers are bought on the ship, they are scanned. So, for the display of arms, what we saw in a container, being in a plastic container, I mean, it's easy for the scan to pick up. And if this, according to the police director, the arms came from the States. I know the US, before things leave, they go through all of that. So how did the US government miss that bit? And remember, before ship arrived on the west coast of Africa, they passed through other countries, and every time they drop off, at some point it should have been picked up. From my own opinion, looking at it. So how did it get to Liberia, and how was it also found in somebody city? These are questions that people need to look at. So something just not right with the story. But going forward, usually police, when they do their investigation, if anything they have to do a covert investigation, they arrest everybody that involved before they bring it to the public. In this case, they call names that haven't been arrested in America. They gave a particular name. So in case that person send those things and his name was called, he haven't been taped or arrested, and he do a runner.
We'll come to that part, Paul. We'll come to
Yeah,
we'll
so
come to
it
that part.
just yeah.
We discuss that part. That's a very interesting point. But Richard, give you a take quick so we can transition. I mean, we can flip over to another question.
No, I agree with everything Jamal and Paul, and I think even you say about this whole gun being discovered, saga. And I mean, it's just for us to see, to know the what, the why. And I'm hoping to see that, this discussion will start to just scrape off some of the concern or question,
Okay, that's exactly why we're here. But my take, and before we switch around, or before if anybody has anything else to add, like Paul rightly said, continue. I'm a graduate of Southampton Solent University, and I did ship and port management. I also did international maritime and logistics, so that's my area. Before containers are shipped, I mean, when Beaver was existing, and the reason why they had in a Beaver was to make sure that the content of everything in a container, because containers, you will seal them up. And when you seal them up by right from the port of departure, when you seal them up, they will not be opened until the port of arrival. Okay, so before that container leaves, you have to declare everything on board, since it's not going to be open on the way. And Paul also made a point. Containers do not go into a plane that will say it will fly from London straight to America. No. If you do shipping, you know that we got something called east-west bound traffic. That is, containers may be loaded in way, or container ship may be loaded way in China. It will not fly from China straight to America. No, it will stop at every port possible, even if in Europe, because they do what we call pick and drop. Okay, so you declare the items on your container with the mind that when it gets to the arrival point, all they do now, the person to whom the container is going will go and claim it, and then they can also verify. It will have something called bill of lading, because all the declaration you're making will be given on that bill of lading. Okay, and then we also have advanced, because they said the container reportedly came from America. Okay, so advanced country like America, not even Liberia, not even a third world country, advanced country like Liberia, they have a radar system, something called the RFR. No, what I say using RFR system. Okay, the radio frequency identification code. That will scan. It's high power scanning stuff. So it will scan everything, almost everything in our container. You will see it visibly. The same thing they do at the airport. Okay. So for a container with arms, and arms are contraband. They are not just ordinary goods. For it to leave a country like America, I mean, we're not talking about Guinea, Arago, Sierra Leone. No, somebody will say that's a country, but America, and that container did not come from America directly to Liberia. They have been stopping, picking up, dropping, picking up, dropping, and then it comes to the port of Liberia, and then it's offloaded. So where's the bit of lading? How did they put all those things on board that they couldn't detect it? And then like Paul also said, in rubber containers, because they throw the rubber containers. Okay, those are very porous. Even with the mere eye, you can almost see what's inside it. So those are some of the questions the public need to know. And we are bringing these things up so that the people will know, so that the ordinary people will know. Because when you just come and say, okay, we arrested the arm and we are arresting people, but how did the arms get here in the first place? So that's a major question. How did it? And now they are inching in on the answer to that question. Who brought it? Because they have made some arrests. And then Paul, like you're saying something, and I said, okay, we'll come to it. That is, they started giving names. I'm not a security man. Okay, I don't know anything about security, but personally, everybody is a security for himself. Okay. So if the police or any security organization is making any investigation, the first few people you arrested, okay, you begin to put their name out. And this kind of deal, somebody said it right here, it cannot just be one person doing it, right? It must be a group, a syndicate. So he start calling all the few people he arrested. I think the natural procedure, that's my own opinion, would be that the few people you arrested, you can say, well, we have made some arrest, but those people's name will not be disclosed. A couple of you guys will come in, but a couple of days ago, I was watching something that happened, I think December 26th in Gambia, where they had a failed coup plot. When the people were talking and listening to it, the man said, we have made some arrests, but for security reasons, we cannot name those people. Can you imagine? Okay. So let's say I will talk, but let me give you guys a chance to talk, because I just want to learn before I give you guys a chance. Let's say this thing here, I'm just being hypothetical. It was somebody who brought it to take down the government, and the government got supporters everywhere in America all over the world. Okay, right. Then you go call somebody name me America. One crazy guy can get and go shoot that guy or do something to him, and then you find out that this guy is not a person. So you guys come in, anybody can come in, and then from there they would discuss the same topic, whether there was a security breach here.
I just have a question and a bit of a. I'm wondering, because I don't know so much about how shipment are, the procedure of shipment. But
I will help you.
My question is, don't you fellows think that the American government kind of place a decoy to see where, you know, okay, I know they know the destination was Liberia, but they wanted to see who was going to receive it before blowing up, the whole, you know, I mean, guns saga, because like you guys say, even traveling from here to England, the security, all the measures you go through, I mean, like the scanning and everything. I think, the American government, they saw what was in that box or in that container, but they wanted to follow it.
Well, or
I don't.
to address that concern or that question, we have not heard from the American embassy yet. The American embassy,
Okay.
of course, the moment you mentioned that the container came from America, America is involved right away. And America is one country that will even go after other countries outside of their borders to put those kind of things under control. So if the container came from under their noses, then they will know that they have to launch investigation. But that question you're asking, well, I'm not sure that America will be down to that lower ebb that will say, okay, we know that there's arms in the container, but we'll wait, let it go to the place where it's going. The moment no, there is something called it will come to my mind. But okay, it will come to my mind. The moment that container was loaded and the period of lading was done, I'm getting the last part of the term where it will come to my mind. Okay, both the consignee and the consignor had a copy. They know it's automatic. You do it. Okay, I'm sending this or thing to Orito. This is not going that the glasses on my pass, my glass, the power of my glasses, so you just know. So I send it to Orito. I declare it on the document. It's done electronically. Okay, that are from Norway to Sweden. So Orito will have a copy of what I'm sending, and I will have a copy. So America will not say, "Well, let me for." They will know exactly who we're going to, and they will intercept it before it can even leave. Because why is leaving in the interim, it can get missing on the way. So they will intercept it before it leaves. So I believe
No, I
that
asked that question. I
yeah.
asked that question to you guys because the thing is that, I mean, the American government knew, the shipment was going to Liberia, but at the
Mhm.
same time
And we can't
too.
be sure whether the American government know, and we're not
Okay,
even sure whether this
this is
container
just
actually came from
me
America.
allege,
Mhm,
allege.
mhm,
And the thing is that I think because when it comes to deadly, weapons and stuff, this is just, I'm not saying, what I'm about to say is fact, but I think they just wanted to go and see because somebody shipping, weapons from point A to point B, you know both governments will need facts, because it could be that, the person, the senator, that person is just like, the face. It's not the main actor behind the whole, receiving or sending of, these ammunition that were discovered. So that's why I asked the question, thinking that maybe they let it pass through to see, because we don't know. It
All
could
right,
be like
Richard, let me
night.
let me let me come in. You see, they have the thing they call terrorism around the world.
mhm.
America was victim of terrorism, and somebody put on, and America invested heavily, been investing heavily in Liberia, and for them to see it's my own thinking here. For them to see going to a country that for 14 years went on serious damage to allow because Africa when arms enter, people for the tipping people, it get out of hand. And they will allow that to leave America to go to Liberia that has suffered for 14 years of civil war. I think that's what they do. They stop it because they know who they and they apprehend whoever they send that arm, they will do it and then tell the Liberian government these arms are coming to Liberia, but we'll have to stop it. If people remember the story, I think Linford can help us. You remember Charles Taylor during the war? They bought some arms that were coming in. It was intercepted. It didn't reach Liberia.
Mhm.
And we know we've been through civil war. For those people to allow arms to let follow it, no. Something just not right here because the bill of lading, the list of items that is saying the moment you lie, because they will scan it and find out say, but how come this was not listed? You'll be picked up. So the whole thing about this thing is about other people have view. Yeah, Jamal come in, maybe might have some other thought about it.
Yeah, guys. That's why I said from my point. I think this is nothing strange here. I'm quite sure that the government of Liberia has some information on their stuff. I mean, some authorities should be knowing what is going on. Like you can't take from one point of entry to another point without any knowledge. When I say it has to do arms, it's contraband. It just has to happen. There's nothing we can discuss here. They just need to come clean and tell us who is involved. And like my colleague Just Linford said, the IG is coming out to name names. You don't do that when at the point in the middle of investigation. I don't know where we do our security training. You start naming names, Boyd, Banner, Baker, Benjamin Baker, this, bad, Deborah, all those. You don't do this until investigation is complete. What do? You give me a lead to people. So something's not right. So the fact of the matter, I can tell you that this will go in thin air. Nothing going to happen because the government knows something about it. And it will not get to the port and offload at the port without any previous knowledge from the authorities in charge. This is a clear thing. We can be saying here and there at the end of the day, that's it. You won't, before you get to the country, you see, they will tell you if it's something illegal, they will say some arms, cache of arms were intercepted. But at this point, it won't be. It's not. It's already in the country. So how did it get into the country in the first place? Offloaded.
Yes,
Okay.
offloaded and were found in a city or somebody's house in Broadway.
And I have another question to what Paul just said.
Mhm.
How did the police and what's his name and Patrick Sudu and the whole national police knew about these weapons that were hitting, up the roof?
Yeah, but he
I
said
mean, somebody is it
this
were
is the
was
picked
that
security
up.
operation
trial?
now. The security operation. I thought the question you were going to ask is how did they know that they were armed in the country? Because after they have arrested the first group of people, this is where they got a lead. It's called security lead.
Yeah.
This is where they got a
Okay.
lead from. Probably one of those people
Yes,
and say, "Oh boy, yeah, somebody maybe somebody one of those people they arrested say, oh, but they are you're looking for your senior. We get some already somewhere."
you know
So,
why
but
I asked that question? I'm looking to what Jamal said. It seems
mm,
like this is something. Now I'm not. I don't know nothing about it, but it seems like the government knew something, for this thing to just be so. Like, I mean, of course, I know they are equipped with, they're equipped to investigate stuff like this, but just like that, and then I don't know. I
So,
think it's a bit.
Linford, what
yeah,
Orita is saying, she right, because how did the government, there's something, the government have their propaganda arms that been running their stories and things been providing information. And the government propaganda group, we all know them, and something they did yesterday because the whole thing should have been blown out of proportion. And they tied this thing with opposition in that, but then later on when they found out that it became a big thing, the propaganda arm decided to pull back. There was a post posted on the government propaganda arm Facebook page, and that's something I want you guys to look at when we get into that to see. So Jema, how did they know that arms are in the country? Because they are country to country, and intelligence we got Interpol all over the place. They've been chasing people around. You got the how they call it, the Boko Haram in Africa that been they stepping. You get the Taliban even in Mali that they stepping. How with arms with the American allow arms to enter the region? That is a big question mark that everyone is asking. How did they get it? Or was it the government? And one used it as the 1980 playbook by Samuel Doe. Remember the Flanzameter story? It's just all of these questions have to come to bear. They haven't done their investigation to conclude the investigation and it came to the public. And then the next day, the government propaganda group decided now to run with this story that the opposition were behind it. So if you want me to put this up, I don't mind to share it. Then you guys can talk about it.
yeah, put it up. I
Great.
mean, all things possible here, as
Right.
long as
So, as we all know, spoon network is the government propaganda tools. This guy called James Goody Flomo yesterday put on this post, and I want you guys to see it. Spoon Talk is about to display a video where Mr. Cummings and the alleged armed transporter Bob Benjamin Baker were seen together in America. Follow us now.
Hmm.
This is a government propaganda group. So how this came about, how they got the video, they got the names of the person in question already. This is under investigation. What you guys think about that post? It was posted by James Goody Flomo, Spoon Network.
I,
Okay.
I think, to be honest, it's time Mr. Cummings, start taking some action against Spoon, or I don't know, Flomo, whoever he is. Because the thing is that this is not the first time, when I'm on, Facebook and see, this Flomo, things he said. I mean, I think it's time Mr. Cummings start to, start suing, some people. Because if you don't have all the evidence, all the evidence, why will you, you know, and bring up such thing to tarnish somebody's reputation? With me, when it comes to the post you just showed, I think
I will
Flomo,
show that post again. This is what he
Mr.
did.
Cummings
Yeah,
should sue that Flomo.
yeah.
Well, I don't know, Chima, do you have a take before coming?
Yeah, before you come, I don't know, but we should be expecting anything in this period. This is a political period. It's a hot season, and you can hear anything. Mr. Comey is a very cautious human being. Before you come up with these, take action, like my sister is suggesting, we should take action. There must be some substantial proof, like substantial proof that why you should drag it to court, or for reasons, alternatives, repetition. But in any case, someone, I don't know what Mr. Comey gonna gain out of this. Consider he taking arms to Liberia. What he wants from that one? He's a guy who wants to win election, cleans down with hands down and win. I know he's sure he's gonna win election. So why would Mr. Kumi get involved in taking arms to Liberia? Definitely not. I know he's a gentleman, he's a man of law, and he believes in clean fight. He's not a man who wants to get into a bloody fight. So he's not a person. So we know that very well. So I know any other person can twist it around to make it looks like opposition trying to, muddy the situation where they think that George Weah is going to win again. So instead of to spoil the game, they want to put the Nigerian suppose Sansan his Gary, So this is what they intend to do, but I don't think they're going to win. Because we've seen in Liberia these things happen where they come up with the makeup or trump up coup attempts to make sure it looks like something genuine. So I'm not surprised that the media will run some other guys who syndicate media institutions will run story against opposition, genuine institutions, and genuine people like Mr. Comey. So I'm not surprised, guys. So I think we are ready to counteract, debunk most of the stories. We know who Mr. Comey is. I know what he stands for.
Okay, for me, let me tell you. Sometimes there are certain things that I don't give relevance to. Number one, Mr. Cummings, I believe, should be very, very busy trying to strategize. And as a political party, the ANC has its, legal wing. It has its security advisors. So, when these things come, Mr. Cummings got to get involved. The security advisor, the legal wing, and all the people will be taking care of it. The same way the media wing is doing its work. So, for one little boy who is looking for his living to say he get a picture of me, yes. And the best thing is that we are in, and that's why we gave our disclaimer on this show, okay? And whatever we say here, we are responsible for it. The bottom line is not responsible. We are responsible as individuals, okay? So then, the good thing is that we're in the internet age. Everything you put out there, there's a copy. You can't delete anything. Let me tell you one thing. You go in your own email, you say deleting, nothing. When you delete, where's the dump site? Where you're going to? No. It's right there. Anybody can pull it out anytime. So in the future, Mr. Comey is running to be president. If he doesn't become president, he can decide to go for lawsuit against people who defame him and whatever. But in the position Mr. Cummings is in, he gotta go start suing people for all the kind of responsible nothing. He wastes time. That's a diversionary tactics. They do that to distract. But having said that, the important questions that we were asking, why is it that this police, the Liberia National Police that we know in Liberia, is acting so swiftly in this case of the arm? Now, I'm asking that question against the backdrop that we have had several incidents in Liberia involving human lives. I mean, people died. Okay, I don't want to retrospect from way Torment days to Taylor days to Ellen days, but okay, let's start from Ellen days. We saw the mysterious death of Harry Greaves, where he had stayed from the damper to the mouth, and they said he got drowned. I don't know who can get drowned in water under that kind of condition that still will pass through your body and come to your mouth. And no arrest was made up to now. Okay, let's drop back to Taylor's days. That one, that war situation. The Dokis, they died. The whole family died. Nobody found the killers. Okay, then let's come down to Jovia. This is the most recent. Under this particular police and under this particular police RG. This police RG was in Monrovia. 4 auditors died within a space of just complete 5 days. 4 auditors. Matthew Innes was killed. He said he was crossing the road and the car hit him. As if to say the car was waiting for him around 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. They said in the morning. We all know Liberia at that time. A lot of people, especially no current, a lot of people will be sleeping. So where was this car coming from? And knowing that Matthew Innes was going to cross on the road at that time, and he was there on time to hit him and go. And then when the police came on the scene, they did not call any medical personnel, ambulance or whatever. They took the body to the morgue, to the funeral home, not even to the hospital. How did they arrive at being medical personnel to know who is there? Even because if you shoot somebody, person body laying down, nobody can say the person is there until medical practitioners come and declare the person dead. Good country. But the police came and they told Matthew Innes to where? To the funeral home. They said you were there. How did they know? That's one question. And up to now, have you found when the police were there, they know that they said can't hit the man. Have you found the killers? No. My own brother and former workmate and friend, real friend, roommate, we slept in the same room for some months. Batten Yeswa, who was killed. Auditor. The man own house is there living in, he not renting a house. He built a house. He know all the plan. He know where to stand, where not to stand. They say he fell down from his own veranda. Nobody know how he fell down. But they were able to arrive at the conclusion that he fell down. Okay. Then another auditor was driving car, they chop him on the head. Then they say the man, he missed the road when he hit the wall, that the glass was chop the man all the way here. Okay. Then the girl and the man, they died in the car on Broad Street. The president came out and said they were lovers. They were in personal contact, and the exhaust of the car killed them. I've slept in car many times. Sometimes because I do the long drivings around here. So where the night catch me, I can sleep in the car and not see day by day. Plenty of car can be parked on the road, people sleeping. We not see day by day. Just July when I'm coming from Sweden, from Germany, coming all along the road, they get places where cars can park, no trucks. No cars sleeping day by day go. We see then I think day by day should be land all on the road. But in Liberia, when you sleep in your car, you can die. And then you die naked with no clothes on you. They say all on your body, beach cell. So, and this police will not make one arrest. Then let's come to the most recent. A little boy, one Bryant, by last name, was found dead, lifeless, in the military barracks, not outside of the barracks, not anywhere else. Now, we are not pointing fingers here, but we're just giving scenarios, okay, where this national police have not acted swiftly like they are doing in this armed case. The boy was found lifeless, unless to be killed in the military barrack, where if I have problem outside and my life was in danger, I would run to for safety. Then somebody is killed there, and not even the military, because in the military, they got police. Not the military police have made an arrest. Not the national police have made an arrest. No paramilitary organization has made an arrest. But to come to Orito's question, this police can be very smart and very vigilant, and like in Patrick Suru's were very agile to get quick tip up that there's at Freeport, and they can move there. The container had already been offloaded. Nobody know how long it been there. They can move there, open the container, find some arm, then they get quick lead, arrest some people, arrest a broker, and arrest the person to whom the container was destined. And then they can get quick lead and go to Broadville and cordon or house in the night, daybreak, they get a search warrant, they go in the house, take some arms, arrest a man in the city. Dramatic. So, the police is working. But I wish all Liberians, the victims of this mysterious death, Princess Cooper, mother, we want that the police should be this swift in the death.
The three boys.
Three missing boys. Until now, we don't know. And the person who they went to work for is working in Liberia free. They didn't arrest him. But continue kind of somebody, even the broker, sorry. This broker is working. Continue can she go stand for the table and she know why inside? Okay. It's like you go to the parking station with your car, then the car board and says, oh man, let me take down the banana bunch from the picker and lay it down. That's what the broker is doing. But they arrested the broker. But see Moses who sent boys to go work for him, the three boys got missing, nothing happened to him, he walking. So the public, we're just saying these things to lay the groundwork so that when the police is doing that investigation, they should know that there are also unsolved mysteries that is hanging over their heads that they have not done. Anybody want to come in?
I think
you are giving our free opinions, yeah?
Yeah,
not responsible for how you understand it.
You lay it out well. It's the same police that up to now, Odell Sherman, they can't come to conclusion of a mystery death after she did her study. That's the same police. The same police here again form the same police planted weapon in Yeke Koluba car during that June 7th something. No, the outcome of that case just went out. It's the same police again that came out. Somebody.
No, Paul, wait, let me hold you right there. Let's not say the same police planted weapon in Yeke Koluba car. Just hold on, wait. Let me lay the ground. Let's say the same police found weapon in Yeke Koluba car.
They found weapon.
Did they arrest Yeke?
No. It's the same police again that came up with their story that some guy worked in Mr. Cummings' yard swimming pool and he saw the man a 14-year-old boy. And that story, the same police were not swift to catch this guy. What became of that story? We don't know. There's no head, no tail. It's the same police again have come out to say there's weapons have been brought into the country and then they under the top of their game. And the security, John security are working extremely hard. But then 2 days ago, there's a little girl that was found dead. So it's the same police again that on top of the game with everything. How to be on top of that game and people keep dying. Just yesterday they came up, there was a little girl found dead. So which game they ready up to?
The armed game.
Okay.
And
the same police that a lot of drugs.
No, continue.
Let me conclude. It's the same police again that every time you hear there's armed robbery in Painesville, armed robbery in Broadway, armed robbery here and there. The same police there, these people are going after people, they up their game. What sort of police that cannot solve only there's one armed problem now that is linked to something else they're able to talk about and they only at the best. So we got to see. But I wanted to say something after Orita, you're finished. This is an armed investigation. The police display the arm. One of them have one hand a glove, the other hand is but they're holding the arms, telling people not to touch it. So I want to know if you're doing police investigation, you're trying to find people who send this arm, but you're using your hands to hold it, your bare hand, your fingerprint will be on it. How will you make arrest? It's something that we need to look at. I will show that clip later on. So Rita Flo and Jamal Flo.
There is another video, Rita, there is another video which I watched on a talk show yesterday by Hawa Meska in Broadville. When they went to the house, even the police station, they have one hand glove, right? One hand with glove, but there were no glove. They were taking the arm raw. So I don't know how are they going to distinguish the fingerprints from. Well, yeah, it can happen. Technically, it can happen. They will know that several fingerprints are there. But that's a breach of security operation. That's a breach. But we'll discuss it. We'll discuss the breach later on. So later
And
you
I
can
want
come
to
in.
say something. You know the
Yeah.
girl, the devil get our arrested.
Hmm.
As somebody I know personally, I know her. She lived on the old road, not far from Yeke Koluba House. So, and she happened to be cousin of Jane Salisa Diva as well. So this become interesting. She lived on the old road. That house it's a new house built in Broadway because I managed to talk to them. The young man that was found in the city, according to the police, is one of the husbands that watch their close home. So he's on the old road. This is very interesting. So that somebody I know, and I can say it because I've spoken to them personally. I know them, they get that they were arrested, the name they call, I know that person.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, I asked that question, and you guys have given answers to the question because the thing is that even today they found a body of a young lady. I
Yes.
think she 20 years old,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think at GSA Road yesterday. Something
Yes.
that happened this morning. The thing is that every time our people are losing their life, our sons, daughters, parents are not getting justice, and these things are like just overlooked. They don't even investigate it. But when something like this happen, and now hearing from what Paul, you, Linfa, and then Jamal, you guys are saying, it seems like this is just my own, thinking, my own opinion. It just seems that the government or the police, intent, and everybody's like, it seems like this is like a personal vendetta against who I don't know, but it just seems that they are going after it because they want to come up with something. And whatever that is, we don't know. We just have to wait and see.
Well,
Um,
um,
guys,
uh,
my point here is this. I'm not more concerned because I have made my point with regard to the cash around phone. But what I can tell you right now is what we don't do in Liberia as the press people or those journalists is to pursue cases like the $16 billion case. Other untold unsolved issues. We don't follow them up. As it comes on, we go because this is a time we should question these people in authorities. What happened to these things? I gave our answers to the questions. But once you go in the thin air, nobody talk about it anymore. Is how many years you going to now? 2 or 3 years since the $16 cash issue. I mean the $16 billion business came about. Nothing nobody talking about it. The princess corpus death issues. Yeah. Many other issues are there. So this system we should be pursuing in our country. Make sure that bring to book those who are responsible. The government should answer our questions. They are not answering our questions. So we leave them ahead and keep this cash of eye issue going to go ahead again. Nobody going to talk about it. So I know they're going to, and there's something come. Everybody got to say enough, saying something about it, like, oh, somebody responsible. This one they're going to tie it down, align with somebody else. We all going to know. But we know very well, and I can assure you, and I can tell you that this somewhere has hand into it. Government has authority in concern know what's going on. They know what's going on. That's a simple fact. No, you can't upload cash of armor like this at the Freeport of Liberia with anybody government.
Exactly.
That's the conclusion, my brother.
So let me ask this question, Lifa. I
yeah.
mean, we were around, we were kids in the 80s, right? And I think some people, you might have heard this story about the 50 caliber, the Pajero, and this guy called Franz Hamilton. That situation with Doe that he went after Doe, tried to shoot Doe vehicle at the time was it Pajero, and he was using 50 caliber for some reason. That bulletproof car could not hold, right? But then when he was arrested, he had little paper in his hands with names that he could not even call the names of the people. In my mind, I'm thinking, is that something like the 1980 play book here or what? I just asking this general question.
Yeah, but
Um,
this sorry, for the point, this thing has they have not accused any government of people any coup attempt yet. But I think this is the government will bring it the arms in for some reason, or they may want to align somebody, but we don't know yet. We're all speculating here. So that's a little bit of different for me if you want to compare with that of Flans Hamilton's case. Flans Hamilton's case, he accused people of coup plotting. This one, like somebody bringing arms, are they naming people involved? Do we have victims here, or do we have suspect here. There's no suspect. They just be naming names, and that which shouldn't be done by a security officer. Like leave out, it's a breach of security. Why should your investigation not conclude that you naming names? So those, I think, the journalists or the people should ask, why are you doing this?
Well, okay. Like Paul rightly said, this is just and we have repeatedly said it. We're not pointing accusing fingers, but we are looking at all possibilities necessary. I mean, in the absence of the truth that the police had not established in this case, everybody will survive, thrive, and live on what we call innuendos. Okay, people will suspect. People will come out with conspiracy theories. You know, yeah. So that's just exactly what we're doing, and we lay everything clearly on the table for discussion. So for viewers, if you want to call, we got numbers rolling on the screen. You can call, and then you can ask questions or you can give your input. They are all at WhatsApp number. The first number there is 994508882. The country code is +7. Okay, so +7 994508882. The second number there is +44 75344 Once again, +44 75344 Okay, so if you call those numbers, we'll be able to you can ask your question or you can give your input on the show. But let me give my conspiracy theory or suspicion on that Flansamington thing. You know, I live on the bypass right opposite the police station. The very coup that brought Duran to power, it happened right in my own presence. Okay, well, outside when the police people started running from across the road, running to my old man shop. Some of them even slept in the shop all that night. Okay, so we used to be in the house room when everything happened. The 50 caliber issue. Moses M.D. Flansamington, MMD Flansamington. This man said, Baco Matthews and other people's names he accused. They are planning to overthrow the Doe government. And so Doe came from out that night with he was in a 50 caliber and at a very close range, because you know if you've been to a executive mansion, if you got these small boots when the security can stand right to the entrance before you go down to the yard. So the guy was there, and then he said, "Open fire on the 50 caliber, he couldn't go." And you know what? That guy promoted the Pacharo. A lot of people bought that car between 83 to I don't know. So you know, it turned out to be that all of what he said, the accusation he made was false. And what happened to him at the end of the day? He lost his life. You see, so sometimes things can happen. So if you ask the question whether it is a scene playbook, no, I can say yes, but I can say no, because like we say here, everything is possible. My friend, in life, everything is possible. How they happen is another question. Okay? That's why Galileo said, if you gave him chance, if you gave him something to stand on, you can push the whole world. You know that it's possible to move this earth, the whole earth. You can move it because in space, it's hanging. But where will he stand to do that? So everything is possible once you have the means of doing it. So we can't deny anything here, but we put things on the table for the minds of the people to work on, something to be thinking about while the investigation goes on.
Right. So while this good, me just played a little clear about the police displaying this arms, and let's see what you guys think. And I will start with Rita after this. So never bring this one up and see what you guys think.
Please, don't touch this. Do not touch any of these. Don't touch devices. So like we told you, like the Inspector General told you, you are to be drove through here to see these catch-up arms and ammunition. So now, we turn over to the Inspector General to do it. Don't touch this. Don't touch this. Take time. Please cease the noise. Allow the journalists to come in.
Military firearm that very trained operative can use and destabilize our beloved country. And I'm sure we are not ready to go back to the dark days. So I will call our technicians Thomas, what's Thomas? Thomas and Dagalu. These are our technicians. They will drill you through to inform you as to what kind of weapon is on the table, and you can ask them any question, what the weapon can do, the firepower, and all of that. I mean, these are our experts. They will drill you through. We separated these arms because they are in different categories. So we didn't want to put them in just one batch. This is why you see them all separated. So they're going to drill you through. So Dagalu and Thomas.
Okay, so evening.
And please,
Emergency response unit and a firearm instructor. So as the major damage. So we begin from here. These are all assorted rounds. 45 rounds, 44 special 38 rounds.
But I think Paul, that's enough of that. And let's return to the discussions. You see, I think what we need to do while we await, probably there will be some colors. Just drop down our thing from the screen. While we await the colors, we got to display some viewers' comments here, because probably some of the viewers too have something good to say. Let's see, we can start from the top here if there is anything important. But okay, I don't see any real important comments here except for Propo King, who made a very important point at the bottom of the screen here. Okay, let me put this one up. Propo King says calculator plan. They are not finished with the investigation, but displaying weapons and calling names. So silly. And that brings us to the point of whether there is any security breach here along the way in the investigation. Because like I said before, I am not a security personnel, but we follow some of these things, when they happen in other countries, we see how people do it. The great United States, even after 9/11, they did not just start giving names. They said they are made some arrest, and they know the people who they arrested, they know where they came from, and where they even trained in the US before they started coming up with the name of places like Daytona Beach, Embry-Riddle, in aeronautical school, a school where I personally drew one Liberian lady daughter to go there. It's a very fun place in Daytona Beach. Okay, so that place, I mean, with things like that, then you get to know, you get control. But you start calling people name, and what if it was a conglomeration of people involved in this thing? What will happen? People start to escape when you do not even have the means to track down people in your own country, where crimes have taken over the country without you even So I think there was some security breach. That's what I think. Maybe, like I said, they are on top of that again, but I don't know. So I don't know if any of you see what I see.
But Linfo, if you're doing investigation, you display weapon, right? And you're telling the journalist not to touch because it's under investigation. But you also touching the weapon with your bare hand. So what sort of investigation is that? I mean, we've been in the West, we've been seeing it when somebody commit crime, when police come, they say don't touch because they will take fingerprint and then trace the person. But if they hold himself, so who if the policeman fingerprint is on the weapon now, who he gonna catch? So in
Probably
case it was me, so then he removed my fingerprint.
Is legal.
Yes.
And the other thing too, I found so funny. I mean, why do Liberian police? They always have one glove on one hand, and then the other hand is exposed.
The other one get print.
Oh gosh!
No.
People just keep embarrassing.
Do you see any breach here?
I just can't believe it. Like, you probably got it, bro, as an expert of the arms. He's not even saying anything. This one, I started off, I can't even do the same thing. We want you to tell her where it was made, what country it was made, what year it was made, I mean, tell her what damage it can cause. This
No,
is
no. If you go follow that video, you will hear it.
Yeah.
They were giving
where they came from where?
No,
Oh,
did
so it came from America, it came from China, it came from Russia.
Yeah, one came from Romania, I think.
Yeah, once you know, these are all something just came out of his head, on top of his head. Once the serial number will tell you when when was made, the year was made, the damage it can cause, the region.
No, they said they were all new brand. They are not being used before.
Yeah, but no, you can predict the damage it cause. It have not been used before. We can do all those. That's what
they mentioned. I think one of the weapons with the scope, with the binocular mounted, they said it can cover 350 some meters, and then he made a comparison. He said about 3 football fields joined together. 3 football fields, you know how wide is a football field? A football field is 400 meters times 3 and 1,200 meters.
So how many magazines it takes?
Well, it's a sniper weapon, so I think it takes one. No, they give a description.
Also, you can tell me more. You're also helping you already. So my point here is like, look, let me go back to the AG, the Inspector General. His attitude is where they handle those things is not unprofessional. I mean, you don't need names at this time if you're investing in the middle of investigation. That's my point here. That's very, very unprofessional. I'm not a student of crime and policing or stuff like that, but we know very well you don't do that in the middle of investigation. You don't name names, like you said. What do? You're giving some chances to those are principal suspect to escape, or you may be you may be naming names that guy is allegedly been accused, he's not even being involved. So there are other things he's making there. So he needs to be called to question to. So Mr. IG, what you doing is not right. It happening like because you go free on it. That's why you go around boasting, thinking like he know what he's on top of his game, but he's causing more damage than good to the situation. That's why he's doing right now. He's causing more damage, more damage. I can tell you, he's not helping the situation at all. But in case if it's proper, probably they are not doing anything genuine. They know what they are doing to just mail it. Oh, they made the IG give all the proper investigative information. He know what he's doing. He knows the subject matter. This is all he can tell us. But at the end of the day, bro, I can tell you at the end of the day, there's nothing we can see out of here. It's going to go zero end.
But Jamal, you're right, because something the RG did at the end of the display, he made specific reference to the election that people must go to the ballot box if they want to beat George Weah. They must go and vote. There will be no war here because they're on top of the game. So all the arms that in Liberia people being harassing people with armed robbery and things, they're not on top of the game. But this particular one, he made specific reference to, and he gave the day on the 10 will be going to the poll no matter bring war. How he linked this investigation to war and to the election? So I'm a bit confused.
So he probably has a picture in mind.
In addition to also, you should know that whether that arm was in transit in Liberia to go to other country, it could be. But he's saying that, oh, they want to destabilize our country. You know that statement he said, they brought the arms to destabilize our country. So he must have some pre-information before coming to that investigation. He has some information though. So you need to come and tell her a lot. There are a lot he did not say. Go on, Linfa.
Yeah. When he made that statement, I was thinking, so does he have a particular scenario that this arm came to destabilize the elections, or the people that they have in their possession, have they give any lead to that? Patrick Sulu, I think, like we are saying here, I mean, we are not professionals, security professionals, though, but we are informed people as well. Okay, so if you carry out such a very sensitive investigation, you don't begin to conclude, because he's beginning to conclude that these weapons were brought to destabilize the election, and he encouraging Liberians to be brave, that nothing will happen on the elections day. So how did he know? How can he connect that? So if I was at that press conference, probably that one of the questions I would have asked. But like I said, Liberians are no more fools. Liberians' eyes are open. Even some of these kind of small programs that we're running, our platform may not be that big platform, but we give information. Okay, instead of talking about breach of security here, where they calling names prematurely, in my own view. I watched Spoon Network, their yesterday episode, not today's one. And there was this gentleman who bears the name Boy Baker. Okay?
Boy,
Benjamin Baker.
Baker.
The same name. Yeah. And then when this thing happened, there were some people, the police, okay, let's be friendly. Police did not display any picture, but they gave this name. So when this thing happened, I know some people were on Facebook or some social media and started to dig up Boy Baker, and then they brought this guy picture out and he started circulating. And he was supposedly supposed to be the Boy Baker that did this thing or that allegedly did this thing. So then when Spoon was discussing last night, the guy called. The guy said, no, my name is Boy Baker, but I don't live in Houston. I don't live in Texas. I live in Minnesota. I don't work at the airport. I don't work with American Airlines. He worked at some company. Okay. And in fact, he said he's going to the police, to Minnesota Police or to Brooklyn Park Police Depot to report himself. And the police went through his file and they found out that he's not connected to anything. Okay. So then while the discussion was still going on, another Boy Baker from the very Texas they talk about, accused the Boy Baker of living. They posted a picture of another Boy Baker. This one with blue hat. And then according to Spoon, the Boy Witherspoon, the Boy Baker in Texas called him and said, my name is Boy Baker, but I'm not the person they're talking about, but I cannot come on now because I'm going to the police station also in Texas to report myself. You see? So the thing we're talking, prematurely calling the names of people would make people like I was saying, what if somebody who sympathizes with this government and lives in Minnesota, okay, are going and harm that Boy Baker in Minnesota? Why would we detain the parents? So they should have been very professional. I mean, we're not condemning them, but I think they should have been professional. Hold on to the names, let the public know that you have some people arrested already, and you're talking to them. Okay, and then you can do more investigation and come back. But they were so very anxious in a Liberian way to say they were so able to show that they're working.
So,
Yeah,
Linford, this is funny, no, because they show now you can have, if you Google Bob Baker, you can have maybe 100 or 1,000 of the same name to pointed to particular people, right? So my name is Paul. If you put Paul, you can get over 100 million Paul. So how they pick up a particular person picture and say, oh, this is the guy. How they got that information to display on the government propaganda platform, the Spoon? Because it can be 10,000 Bob Baker. How do you pick up one particular person picture and say, oh, this is the guy, and they run with it? So what sort of investigation is that? Something just featured about the whole story here. I mean, the way I see it, looking at it, it's just fishy. You have not concluded, but you gave names. And that's, I don't know, Jamal, you said it right. Something just not smelling good here.
Yeah, Paul. Oh, did I make that statement?
No, it's all right.
Okay, I think I'm sorry. I think there was some. I think I missed a mistake.
So
I put that information, or did I?
Yeah, you did.
No, I put it.
Okay.
I just because I know when I'm in the background. Sorry. Now, but I think Provoking is making important point. If Patrick, he actually made that statement. Not if he made it. Yeah. He said he assured the Liberian people that they are on top of that game, and no, if anybody wants to win election, let them go to the ballot box. They should not destabilize the country. They should not bring arms to it. So how did he connect that? I mean, it's a bit. I mean, you just started investigating. Then you go way to election time.
Yeah, live for you see what happened while we come to. That is why I give credit to our journalists. We stay in our people in our journalist institution they need more training where they can pick questions, where issues people are trying to ignore. Those are points when you're doing a press conference as a journalist you pick on. But they won't be giving out on they look at who brought it and they want to know some obvious facts. But there's little underlining things I need to pick on. Our journalists need to be picking on. Those are statements the IG just made, where he said we want to destabilize this country. They should wait for to go to the ballots bowl. Where do you got ballots election to win instead of coming with arms to destabilize. Not so. Those are the things that our journalists or those who have the chance to ask these questions to be able to pick on. But if we don't see this line, we are not properly looking at those things. We look at things with sort of sentiment. We need to get outside of the story and look at the story where the people, the Liberians, want to understand the real story. Because as journalists, as media people, if you get yourself involved into the story and come not out of the story, you won't ask the proper questions. So they need to come out of the story and ask questions that Liberians want to know. Like just speak up right now. How do you know that these guys with the intention to want to destabilize this country? How do you know that? And then you don't. What is your fact? Tell us. Do you know something that we don't know? You need to let us know. And you're naming names at the time you have not concluded investigation. So this gives a lot of information out here and there that we can play with and see and question and put their feet to the fire and get it fast out of them. Instead of using, look, he taking the lead that he's saying that somebody out there like opposition is involved. That's why he's giving involved in bringing arms to the country. They want to destabilize this country because they don't have the chance of winning this election. So what they do? They want to spoil the atmosphere. So that's why he's leading to.
Yes.
It clearly says that you don't have to like come and play your own perspective. It's just a clear, any smart man, anybody who understands will understand where you're coming from. Anyway, let's give some, like you said, some comment coming from across some of our viewers.
Yeah. So let's look at Arvin Keto's comment here. He said the RG's work is based on intelligence. Yes, we agree. All investigation based on intelligence. You can't be a fool to give to do any investigation. You gotta be smart, you gotta be intelligent. But how good is your intelligence? That's what we're talking about.
Complete the statement. Because what he said, that's why he said RV Keto Verdier, Orlando Giddens, granted. He got the intelligence but disseminated it wrongly. We still have to be very careful with these elections, though. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. But then, why should he disseminate information wrongly? As a man, he's a high authority. What kind of you should be very careful information? How you just loosely release information? That's the point we're talking about here.
I don't know how Giddens want to be careful with this investigation. Your RD Giddens, not Giddens rather, or Arvin Keto. Arvin Keto, your RD is saying that he has drawn to a conclusion. That's prejudice. In an investigation, that's prejudice. If I took you to court, okay, and then the investigator, the person who's going to investigate you, start telling you, say, my man, why you stole the man clothes because you want to wear it on Christmas Day? You are not being investigated. They don't even know whether you stole the clothes. But then the man who's supposed to investigate you look at you right away and say, you are not supposed to steal the man clothes to wear it on Christmas Day. That's why he stole the clothes for you. Were not good. So the RG is telling us that the people that brought in the arm, they were supposed to use it in the election, to destabilize the election.
Yeah, he pushed you to confess the way he wants you to confess.
You see? So that's what we call prejudice. Arvin Keto, that's what we call prejudice. If anybody does that against you, the person wrongs you. So let me just educate you on that one. Okay? You are innocent. When you are arrested, even if they saw you cutting my throat, my blood on your head, you are arrested, you are still innocent until you are brought down guilty honor or competent court of jurisdiction. And that's why the people that they arrested with the arm, they're not going to tell and say that you brought it out to kill people. No.
And they have to go to court.
Yeah,
they have to be found guilty. And to say, oh, yes, they want to court, they found guilty of this, but to preempt that, to say, oh, this is, and he makes specific reference on the 10th, we will be going to the battle, but if you can't beat George Weah, don't come and bring war. Specific information. I just don't get it. I got confused.
Listen to provoking. I like this one. Say, intelligence is not conclusion. So now because you are acting on intelligence or you got intelligence, then you conclude. No.
Yeah.
And there should be no investigation. If you the investigator conclude. No, and we are telling you, Arvin, as journalists, I'm trying to do that. If I hear that Arvin Keto is a role, I will not just come and say you are wrong. That's what I do. I get both sides of the story. Did you really steal it? Yes. Or no? They are going to the person. They haven't steal it? Yes. Then that's where the investigation starts. So you can't conclude as an investigator. So I think enough of this one. So this is why these are necessary.
So yeah, I would suggest that the RG after the investigation, you need to do proper retraining. You need to go for retraining. And that's what my suggestion.
Thank you.
Serious police training, serious police and military training, security-wise, because he has blundered. This is an embarrassment to the country. This is embarrassment to a sovereign state like Liberia. It's embarrassment to the Joshua government. It's embarrassment to the people of Liberia. It's embarrassment to total embarrassment to the police force.
Yes, and you know, again, if we should just drop back a little bit, you know, if we look at all the cases, if we look at all the cases that the police have been handling before, and we can't get any conclusion, one would just begin to wonder, why are they running with this case? It's so silly. It's just like, you know, you got your docket full of cases, then, and because I believe in the ecosystem, first come, first serve. If I sue Paul today, and then Jima sue me tomorrow, my case against Paul will go first. Then Jima on the case we can like I've been at the Temple of Justice before. I know how cases can go. So, but they leave all the other cases. Then they just take on one case, they run away. Hey, because gun can kill, eh? But how about all the other people who they killed? They are dead already. Their parents need justice. So why? Okay, let me also, on behalf of our platform here, make this other disclaimer. We condemn in absolute terms, unequivocally. Yeah, I got a little bit stuck. I got stuck there. Okay, but we condemn this act of bringing those arms. Those arms, no dangerous. Even recently,
it's dangerous. But you police officer, my man, go out straight, man. That the government like come back.
No. I mean, you might look at it this way: whether the government brought it on or whether private people brought it on, but the presence of those arms, they are very dangerous. My friend, you don't know who sent them. I know what
you're talking about, but they should tell us. They should not be playing game with us. That's the team you're laying for. You're playing game with us. You just look at the team laying for. How will you bring a cache of arms in the container and offload it at the port up to press it? Nobody knows until lately you just might find it. You got found. How can this happen? We know the procedure. You want to
the conditions. The point I'm making here is that the conditions under which the arm came, the conditions are not my problem. Okay. Who brought the arms are not my problem. My problem here is whose hand the arms my leg in. Let's say John Brown brought the arm, and that minute we need John Brown. I'm not accusing of particular John Brown. Let's say John Brown brought the arm. Now, that arm will have landed in armed robbers' hands. We don't know. Now the police have possession of the arm. Okay, the police did not buy that arm. If they confiscated it, then it means that they did not buy it. So how are they going to use it? Are they going to give it to the police? Are they going to give it to the military? So all these things are concerns. And who's going to use it? So, you know, the presence of the arms itself makes people afraid. So we condemn it. We condemn that somebody will bring arms in the country, be a government, be a private people, whoever, but we condemn that act. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you. But you should also know that the government like Liberia has the right to buy arms.
I agree. I agree.
It could be government like arms. It could be, but
I agree. I think private citizens also.
No, under Liberian law, I don't know. The code of Liberian cats, I don't know. But the thing, what I know of, it may have come through the government Liberian networks, but it end up in the wrong position. That's what I can see.
But again, one thing we should know is that illegal arms getting in my hand or in anybody's hand in Liberia is a billable crime. So it's not against the law that somebody can have it.
Granted, but also know very well that because of this situation in the country right now, those arms is sold to make money to be living because of hardship of life in our country at the moment. So
wait, let me bring something to our attention. I know how you're thinking about you. And just being we like we said tonight, we just be hypothetical in certain ways. When the crime rate was increasing, people complaining 2 years ago, the president said we should protect ourselves, we should buy our own CCTV camera.
Exactly.
So somebody said, CCTV camera will not prevent armed robber from coming and shooting me. They will shoot me, I'll be dead already. Then you can play the CCTV camera. So let me get my small thing. How you guys look at that too?
So this could be commissioned by the government to bring in arms so people can buy on a private level. It says to help them protect themselves.
Yeah, to protect themselves.
But I'll tell you, this arm coming to the country is not illegal. Somebody knows what's going on. Someone knows what's going on. And it has to be from the top authorities. You cannot bring contraband product into the country.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's not possible. With the system, you went to school, a marathon school, you know how it said when you
I know exactly. Okay.
what they say, like when you bring something from the first to say like America to Liberia. How does it say? This is not from West Point to Nukuta.
Thank you.
Country like America from China, all the because I mentioned something earlier on about eastbound trade in shipping. So let's consider that send that container came from where? From America. Okay, they are saying the ship came from America with that container. So that container, before it leaves America, let's consider that it's entering China or Germany or any other country. No, they got the scanner they put got. They got something called strato carriers. Those things that grab the big China so they can grab the container and carry. They will set it down. It will go through that scanner, my man. Ping. Even your hair green in that container, it will show it. So if the container came from America, yes, like you saying, Tima, I want to start with you. That some tappers might know about it, and those arms might have been purchased legally with documents. Okay, because America, their security will not allow those things to leave in the first place. Like Orito or trying to some house, they will not allow it to leave. But if it is legal and at a higher level, it can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it? So that thing, continue. Actually, they can smuggle it in.
But the thing is, Linfa, you're right, because they can continue for human trafficking all the time.
Yes.
So and those the container they were in, they are visible that people could see. So if you scan something like that, they say, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" So
guys, it will be a bit difficult to find out complicated. It'll be a much complicated case if this container was transported from Guinea or Ivory Coast.
Exactly.
The line of
even though gas scanner, even at the port of Freeport of Monrovia, gas scanner.
No, I mean, it doesn't.
We get putting it to the lowest level.
Yeah, now on the seaport now, coming through the line, yeah, you coming through Ivory Coast to Liberia. There's a possibility that it will come through. It will break through it will crack through the security and come to the country.
Yeah.
Not on the back of a truck. Yeah, you can get into the country, but this is from Great United States of America coming through other countries to Liberia and end up and got offloaded. Then you're telling me we don't know how it got into the country? Yeah, please tell us something.
Something wrong.
Listen, you're telling me they'll tell us something. We are not fools here, man. They don't insult our intelligence.
Yeah.
It's that easy. The science has developed to a level that this is what a friend of mine told me 10 years ago. He said, Jamal, he said, look, do you know that they will not kill the American president anymore? I said, what do you mean? He said the way they killed JFK, shot Ronald Reagan, they're not going to kill the American president. That's out of question. I said, what do you mean? He said the security system in America has developed to a level that it will be like thousands of miles before they'll pick you up before you shoot at anybody. The way the system has developed so good. I mean, we are not saying that it's impossible. It's highly, highly impossible. It can be, but you have to be close. Somebody close to the person can only do it, but not from a far distance. Those are things we are talking about. Science has developed to a level that technology has developed to a level that those things will pick up so easy. More especially what has to do from goods from one country to another country. And we talk about contraband and other stuff. They're telling me, oh, it came from America. One boy, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Brother, let me tell you, if no country in the world is careful with terrorism, America should be. Because America has suffered a lot of terrorism, and America has gone after terrorists in other countries. So America knows the danger of terrorism. So America will not allow arms to leave their borders that is not going to a particular high-profile person. It's not possible. My man, you can buy your arm in America. Those of us that live in a open carry state like Texas, you can buy your gun and hang out and walk in the street.
You know what happened when you close up the war in Liberia, where the American had a satellite on top of our head. Every little movement, they were telling the people what was going on. Even in our bedroom, they were telling what was going. They were telling us that the war that was coming, Taylor was bringing, it was unstoppable. They were telling people to leave. Those guys know what's happening. The security network is so good. It's so good. They know what is it like. Put for America. You bring catch of arms from America to Liberia. Then you're telling me is nobody knows how I got there.
Yeah, and the point I'm trying to make, about the open carry, that countries, I mean, states like Texas where we got open carry law, you know, you can buy your gun in war way, but you can't not gun, you cannot take it even cross the next state. Yeah. Let's say coming from Texas to New Orleans, to New Orleans or Louisiana, or you going to New Mexico, you cannot. You cannot enter with it.
Like
So,
you said, they are afraid that those arms fall.
but you know, the good thing is that they are still investigating. And
No,
but are you surprised, or is any of us there surprised that the whole day we hear nothing? The whole day everything is silent.
You see, when you make mistake, you
Giving
have
the
to go
momentum
read
from
out of it.
yesterday.
Yeah, they made mistakes, so because the information they gave, the journalists were not smart enough to pick it up from them and question them.
No, but Paul, they did not give them a chance to question them.
Yeah, they didn't give a chance.
No, we'll take 3 questions from the journalist. Probably okay,
Yeah, it was stage managed.
That's what they do. They will vanish. They won't give them a chance.
That's a journalist asked a question yesterday. Said, "Now you display this arm. Are you going to take us to the continuum where
Very good.
already?"
Yeah.
He said, "Oh no, because it's operation. We'll let you know."
Yeah, if the need be, if the need be.
You already brought it to the public space. So the journalists want to know now, show all this arm. Where it's coming from? Go and open the container. Let's see.
And now we know that. Let's go back to the cocaine that came to the country. Let them
exactly.
Tell you now. They can't open that container. You will not send a cocaine. Everything.
No, they said they burn it.
Where?
My question is,
they burn part of
it. They burn it. You got to burn that quantity of cocaine. A lot of people get high around it. But if they burn it, then what happened to the people who brought it?
Those guys are jokers. You remind me of when you told us that they burn the mutilated money. How can you know that money they burn?
Man. If I ask you a question, I say, instead of 1980 playbook, you remember Samuel Dotan? They called pure part of marijuana. And that guy want to burn it. The thing was so funny. The place of burning, all the army guys, when the solid smoke were going, when they were going, he hated it.
At least they said before Gufu, well, better boss. So, but I mean, on a serious note, guys, on a serious note, I mean, we want the public to believe.
The guy think we are joking. That's it. That's jokers. They are jokers.
So let's make it. We are just trying to create awareness for the public. Let the public begin to ponder some of these questions, okay, that we have been discussing here today. Okay, it's a lot of things happening in the country. The police are not being this swift. Yeah, we agree. That's why I said we all condemn the presence of the arms in our country because we know what happened. But then the way the police have been so swift with this issue, and then all of a sudden the next day, because we would have no in a progressive investigation like this, every minute. I remember 9/11. I mean, look, I was having press conference every 30 seconds, every 30 minutes. Yeah. So we would have expected that since this whole day we would have heard anything but nothing, everything went slow. So I'm now beginning to suspect. Is it going to be like a $16 billion case where the police was supposed to investigate, nothing happened? Is it going to be like all the other deaths? Is it going to be like the 4 auditors? Is it going to be like the usual thing that happened that we come and made noise around and then go? So because we are beginning to see that kind of sign that the whole day nothing happened. So you mean the whole investigation today nothing happened?
The SNS told us that we played that video the last time. The president, we have told us that the people are investigating. They have not come on the conclusion. You're still waiting for the findings there. So the findings. That's why he told the journalist. He said we're waiting for they are investigating. So the $16 billion issue, $11 billion is not coming up. All other issues are coming up. Waiting, investigating. We say they are investigating with our partners to make sure we get a result. Nothing yet. So we'll wait until after his term. Then we'll gather the result, the finding of that investigation. That's all you can hang up to. There's nothing only investigating. We'll leave this. The cocaine issue is still investigating. The cash for arms will still investigate until 2027.
Yeah, but I think this one, Chima, let me differ with you small. You guys can correct me, but I think this one will be a little bit. There will be some pressure. Why? Because the Americans are mentioned, and you know the arm or the apparatus of government in Liberia, not the UNIPOL. One of those that American government funds a lot that they pump more money in is the NSA, because they work with the NSA directly, they train most of the personnel, and they sponsor them. So if this kind of thing happen, and they mention, I mean, this is not speculation, the RG according to what some people were saying here, he got intelligence. That intelligence made him to mention that they continue looking for America of all countries. My friend, the Americans will want to find out, they got to go to the bottom, who send the weapons from their country to Liberia. So this one, all other that's my personal opinion, all other investigation can be swept under the rug in Liberia, but this one, I think Uncle Sam will want to go deeper. Unless, but I want to believe that Uncle Sam will want to clear their name in this one year. So I don't know how you guys look at it.
Yeah, before you go to Uncle Sam, I think they're asking if you open a line. There's some viewers want to take.
Okay, the lines are open. It's just that probably you do have a number. I can repeat a number many times. Take your pen and paper if you're listening to me. We got 2 WhatsApp numbers running there. One is +47 99 450 882. That's +47 99 450 882. That's a WhatsApp number. The second WhatsApp number there is +44. That's from the UK. 753 44 03475. Once again, +44 753 44 03475. Those lines are open. You can call us and you can ask your question or you can make a contribution. And so, guys, let me see. I think there was one more question that I wanted also to discuss. We've dealt with the security breach. We've dealt with the rest of it. But the question is, the next question, we got 2 more questions to address quickly. What would be the motive of bringing this arm? So the reason I'm asking what would be the motive, let's agree. We're going to be very hypothetical here again. Let's agree that this arm was brought in by some private people, as they have started calling private people names. What would be the motive of one private or group of private individuals trying to bring these deadly weapons in a country? Okay, the other flip side is, let's agree that this arm was brought in by authorities. That means the government. What would be the motive? The motive for bringing it. Now, I want to start. Then you guys can come in. I would believe if it was brought in by government, because government has a legitimate right to bear arms in a country and to protect the citizens of the country, to protect our borders. Well, I would think that the motive is to provide more security for us in the wake of the crimes that we see in our country. But if it were brought by private people, like they have started calling private people's name, what would be the motive? Then I would believe that probably they have some dangerous motive. I'm just speculating, okay? Or they brought it to protect themselves in a country where the president will tell you to buy your own CCTV camera. Maybe the person will feel that my CCTV camera cannot adequately protect me, and robbers are at my door every day, so I need something to protect myself. Or the person might have ulterior motive to want to do something. So there must be a motive behind doing something like this. So, guys, anybody has a take?
Let me go. Listen, I'll take from my own perspective. This is a personal perspective. Okay, this is one. It could be somebody in the government, some authority in charge, I'll tell you from the start to the end. I don't think about it. Someone within the government has the power to order arms to come to the country, buy it privately, get to the country, pay for it, process the paper through the government initiatives, network, get to the country, and wait to see, probably with the intention to distribute it amongst all these disgruntled people. In case, in a scenario where situation will go all the way around, there's a kind of way to confuse the situation. That could be another scenario. Another scenario would be like government brought in arms. I mean, if government has to bring arms to the military level or to secure the police, it should come through the proper procedure. It should not be wasting time at the port. It should be declared and removed and put to the right place. Or that's one. That's the government property. That should be. But this won't be the government. It could be the government is aware of it coming to the country, but for specific reason, it got exposed earlier, or something was not taken into consideration, and now it got exposed. The press, the public got to know about it out there before they now pretend to say that they're investigating. And I can assure you now, for now, a week from now, their case is not going to go anywhere. They're going to tell us they are investigating this case. That's what I'll see from this end. That means the government, somebody is aware of it. They brought it into the country for a specific reason, which you and myself can speculate. That is one. We could speculate in that sense, like somebody bringing the arms to give it to some bunch of disgruntled people, because chaos. Probably during some period of time to blame some people. I would say, quote unquote, they will blame politicians that they want to bring confusion into this country. Like you said from the IG, if you want to win election, go to the ballot box. Don't destabilize this country. That says a lot. That line is a line that we need to question a lot about.
Exactly.
That line is a line we need to question. Where did you get information? Are you pre-informed? Do you know about something we don't know about? So those are things like that. So they try to do something. So they want to blame opposition. Look, what opposition have to gain from this? They won't win hands down. They're not interested into any war thing. They want to fight you at the polls to defeat you. Liberians are wary of war. Nobody wants to bring war, but the only person can bring arms into that country, contraband into that country right now, which is the government.
Yeah.
Simple. Government can only do that. And offload it. I keep saying offload it at the port. And with any question, then later somebody, cache of arms were found at the port after it being kept. Probably it's been there for months. So that's just my take on this, brother.
Yeah, I mean, Jemma is right, because if you want to do something to destabilize the country, why would I send arms through the port? That is a question. Why would I do that? You see, when people were carrying war to Liberia, they didn't go straight, they went through the bushes. So why would they want to do something like that and they would send it, and you pick a particular person, that person must have money to purchase all those arms. I mean, that person got serious money.
I mean, just about, sorry for interjecting. What's the border between the border with Guinea and Liberia is massive.
Yeah.
With Africa is massive. With Sierra Leone is massive. You can bring arms into that country without detecting it if you want to destabilize that country. You don't need to.
Literally walk through the border and came.
I wish you, God forbid, that we don't want it to happen. If you want to come, you can go through those very countries and come through the bushes. Nobody will detect you. We don't have that equipped security or mechanism to detect anything. So if any opposition or any other person want to destabilize our country, will they bring that thing through the port, the government port, which can be seen? So let's be really a guy. Let's be realistic to ourselves. So, Paul, sorry, go on.
No, I've seen what you said earlier is right, because it's government to government now bring arms, because they know it's not ordinary person who just put something in a plastic container that will say, I'm sending this amount of assault weapon. Where? No country will allow that. And the country that it comes from, that the country that spent most money on Liberia during the civil crisis. And they will say that will allow that to happen. I mean, this
I wrapped this thing off earlier on. I told you guys, Uncle Sam will go to let me tell you, Jima said maybe in a couple of weeks' time we'll not hear anything. But yes, there must be behind the door real compromise with Uncle Sam, because you can't defame that name like that. You can do all your things. No, they want I'll trust America. America can do. These are the people who leave that land border and go away to Iraq, and go away to Afghanistan. Then they will be the same people to allow somebody to take. And the point you guys are making, if somebody wants to bring war in Liberia,
live for quickly. You know how Uncle Sam will take this serious? Doing one of those daily press briefing in America, a top journalist will raise the issue. A cache of arms was found in Liberia. The government has an idea on this. They're where they get the attention. But if nothing's being said about it, this is why Uncle Sam want to clear her name. But if you don't say about it, because we don't have the daily press briefing, this is how it works in the West. where those top journalists will bring to the attention of the press secretary, whoever is there, ask them the questions of the catch of arms was found in a country called Liberia. We believe it came through United States, from United States through other countries to Liberia. Can you comment on this, Mr. This? So, oh well, we don't know. We investigated. From there, probably he did not know. And what will happen later? They will investigate what happened, and they will go to deep at the bottom of it. But for now, probably they don't even take it serious because they know we are not serious people. They know what happened. I mean, this is it. Uncle said the only way Uncle said will clear her name, if that's how it happened, because that daily press briefing, top journalists raise the issue. Our journalists don't have their time, they don't have the means to question or have those interview with the top American government to question them about what's happening in Liberia. It just stay right there. It doesn't even cross into Sierra Leone. It's showing our newspaper, showing our very Facebook, and that's the end of the story. The $16 billion issue, it happened. The same thing with those death issue happening, those other security. What has to do with America? It has to be like one of those meetings when the election time is coming. You want to bring it, question the president about it, the American president. You will see what will happen. The names will be called. But once it's stay in that level where you see, oh yeah, the Liberian journalists like those guys with their telephone. I mean, I got a lot of respect for our journalists doing their best. About the story, you carry the telephone in the face of the guy asking, Mr. I mean, I'm not discrediting that they're doing a good job because they're not being supported. But once you go in, they're doing a great job. The journalists are doing a great job in Liberia, honestly speaking. But they're not being supported. That's the problem. And if you're asking them, so Mr. President, they don't even get a chance to speak. Yeah. You're not even getting a chance to ask questions. So why are you going to take that? I just look, oh yeah, we were giving information. Look at what happened with Princess Copa case. They keep giving conflicting findings to us. There was no foul play. Then if lady body were found, or blood wasting everywhere. Oh, what was no foul play? What's the problem? Was she sick of some kind of disease that made her to vomit blood, and her body was found lying in that place? We don't know. Up to now, it's still unsolved. So
I think let's just quiz ourselves 1 minute each on this other last question that anybody would want to ask. What will happen next? Since the arms are in the country now.
Their case.
Yeah, what will happen next? What do we expect?
Dead case.
Dead case. Yeah.
My former classmate, he was, I think, 4th or 5th person in the police. And he's now well now. You know about T-Swan.
Mm-hmm.
He was suspended at some point because the police were using the arm to get people to go do armed robbery, and he was caught because one of the pistols they gave him were used. So you ask that question, this arm may end up in the same, how to call it, armed robber hands, because who brought those arms? What the intent of those arms? We don't know. If the government have it, then the security sector will use it. See, because when they're sending for arms, they all come in set. So you can't have something like that different from this one. You have this, and the way the arm expert was describing them, when one test you just
it will
you all, and I don't know.
And the other one, when it hit you, it will take you like four.
It take you like 20 feet up the. So who they're going to give that kind of arm? So because police supposed to cannot carry that sort of arm because it's dangerous. So what would they do with it?
Yeah, and it's military class weapons. So
exactly.
So
would they give it to the military?
Guys, it's just they're taking. One thing I've now begin to understand since the Liberian on the local for Liberian geopolitics, we quick take up things and run with our proper investigation. You know what happened with the story of calling Mr. Kumi's a gay? So my job made up a story, right? And Liberian people pick it on without investigating.
Yeah.
This is what happening. And they'll say, oh yeah, let somebody come attach something to it. They will not investigate. They will just pick up story and run with it. So because the authorities or people in authorities know that Liberian can pick on those stories and run with it without investigating, they will just make up story, trump up. That's what we do. So yeah, what they would do, that's what I'm trying to tell. Paul, I want to come out what Paul said something today. If any politician intend to destabilize that country, can they use the proper way to bring arms? Will that be the right way to do? Any smart man can do that? No. We got thousands of borders of our country that you can smuggle arms to our country without noticing it. Thousands of arms. Thousands of borderline that we can smuggle arms into our country. that you intend, if you want to destabilize that country, you can do it without anybody noticing you. Will that come through the port to come through? You say we'll bring arms through the port?
Yeah, but Jima, let's look at recent war history in Liberia. The MPFL, how did they enter? By land border.
That was even public. We knew that he was coming.
How they model and law enter? By land border. How did Limo J and Limo K enter? By land border.
Before, you gone far.
The other people who want to bring war, the modern people, eh?
Yeah, the two civil, the two claim. No, this is the arm will bring it to this civil line. They come to your city.
We stay on brush, we start fighting war.
Yeah. So the thing it just full of smoke. Oh, we're too intelligent. We're not going to go through liquor tour.
No.
There's a clear container with arm. We're bringing it, and then when we take it, we'll go and this civil line. What kind of sense is that? Look, the fishermen in Liberia, they travel in by night from Ghana. They use their boat account fishing. We don't have Coast Guard. This is the country that they're talking about. Somebody saying, oh man, for Christ's sake, I think they're just doing this to put some sort of fear tactics in the people, to scare the people. I don't know for some reason behind it. Because it does not make sense.
Our time is fast spent. Conclusively, I will just tell you that the entire investigation, to some degree, I'm not saying totally, but to some extent, maybe 5%, has been compromised, prejudiced by the kind of statements that came from Patrick Sulu at the end of that particular press conference, to jump to a conclusion that people want to use that weapon to destabilize the elections. And so if anybody wants to win George Weah in the election, they should wait and go to the ballot box. That, for me, to some extent, at least 5%, that was a compromise, that was prejudice, and that should not be part of the investigation that they are doing. I think they should hold a peace. They should go professionally and bring all the facts, because you're talking to 5 million people in Liberia. Not everybody's stupid, okay? We got a lot of PhD holders in Liberia, or we got a lot of good security people in Liberia, that you can't just think you will fool everybody. So while we do not intend to point finger at anybody, but at the same time, we'll be very careful and scrutinize every word that comes from people's mouth in the process of this investigation. And one of such statements was what Patrick Sulu made. Okay, as an authority on such an investigation, you're not supposed to conclude before the case is even taken to court, because in any case, this will be a court case.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do you arrive at the point where you think these people came to destabilize election, or is it because we are in election here? What if the arms have come 2 years back, or maybe after election? What would you say?
So let me ask something on this. You know, those two auditors that they found dead on Broad Street, the naked people. What became of that case? When the president spoke, say, oh, our boyfriend, girlfriend, that was the conclusion of that case. It ended, no investigation. This is what the guy, Patrick Sulu, have done. In his last sentence, he concluded already that people bringing arms because of election that will be here on the 10th of October. So he have concluded already. So that means is those who cannot beat George Weah, they bringing arms. That's his conclusion in this, and that is wrong. So why you want to put fear in the people that opposition want to bring trouble to this country?
Yeah, but if we flip it on the other side, Paul, why is it that Patrick Sulu cannot believe that George Weah is afraid that the people are going to unseat him?
Exactly.
So it's both ways. So that's why I said the investigation, the statement from that particular statement kind of compromises the essence of the investigation to a certain extent. At least I made it 5%, but somebody will even grade it up to 25%. You see, you can't say that, especially when you're part of the investigation.
Linford, there's no investigation. The thing you don't know, there's no investigation. These guys are not doing investigation. This is why he's running around and they're wandering here and they're ranting, making statement that he looks like he's professional, but he didn't know that he's making serious mistake. Professional mistake. Those are the fundamental mistakes you just made, and that's what you just made mention of. You shouldn't, as an investigator, IG, Inspector General of a country, police, should not be making those statements. So you know that he just made up. So Liberian people won't take those into consideration. They'll just pick it and run with it. Oh yeah, the opposition can destabilize this country. So it keep on those lines to say this. So you must say how can be filled with just pre-informed, premeditated. Like this is it. But in a country where we take everything into account, you won't make those statements. So there's no investigation. That DOA is dead on arrival. That case is finished and dead. That's the end of it. The next time, let's come 2 weeks from now. Let's ask about that cache of arms. They will say they're investigating it.
And Jamal is right. And, I said something earlier. I said the government have their propaganda arm. The moment they decided they already linked it with one of the opposition already to run with this story. But since it backfire, it's going to go. They'll find something else to come up with because it's, how they call it, it's election year. And remember too, the police, they are partisan police. So I hope now, since we're going to election, they have to change a little bit to be police for everyone because they seem to be a partisan police. So let's see what.
Well, I think our time is fast and really, really, really fast.
No, we get Mr. Cummings coming on the show.
On the show?
Yeah.
Now? Okay. Oh, you mean you're coming? I thought you were talking about me. So I'm going to be Tatum. What to say?
All right.
I was like, what have you said that makes him want to come? Okay, let's.
No, he want to say something.
Earlier on, hinted Gerard that
he's coming to give some input because this is interesting. Because this man, he's a journalist, he's been around, so yeah, he gave all input. Because what happening in Liberia, let's see if you can, let me see.
Okay, but it's in the background, it's still dark. But Gerard, you can try to switch on your light or whatever, but because you stay actually dark.
Yeah. So let get.
Okay, let him get settled. Yeah, but if Gerald comes on, then probably we'll hear from him. But guys, like we're saying, I don't know how things are happening. How haphazardly in Liberia. Like I was surprised. Trust me, I was on every possible page today that I know of to see if there was any fresh information on this investigation. Because by now, I would have loved to see the outcome or what they have done today. Because they were supposed to go to the container today to open it according to RG. Okay? And they were supposed to invite the press, if possible. But without even inviting the press, we would have thought that they would come and give some kind of 10-minute briefing and say, well, the investigation continues so far. We have arrested some people, or we have not arrested some people yet. We say, just keep the people alert. You can't keep it to yourself. Yeah? Or because he concluded already that people brought the arm to destabilize it.
That's right.
That was really, really unprofessional.
And that guy should be actually sacked by the president, to be honest, because what they done, you can bring fear into the people. People
want to. How will the president sack the man when the man is protecting the president by saying that if anybody want to win the president, they should go to the battle path? So
the man just showed that his income.
Yeah, will you try to replay that portion of that video again, please? Where he says that part. I just got interesting. Then we let you know.
Do you have it? Wait to the end. You have it, Paul?
I think Paul has it.
Y'all be flowing. Let me find it.
Yeah, and wait to the end. Yeah. So so like Jamal is saying, it's very interesting, to be frank. At least I took my time today to listen to that entire thing and to see the inspection of the arms and everything. And I was like almost after seeing the arms, I was like, wait, I got to I'll say I said, but let me hear. But then somebody told me, get away. Then that the last statement he made, if anybody feel that they can win president, the president at the power, then they go to the power pass. The Trinidad can bring arms there to destabilize, and we can show the public that, I'm just paraphrasing, we can show the public that we are on top of our game. And so I was like, Then I started having a second thought. Why is he making that statement? Because the investigation is still going on. You are not even told us what some of the people you arrested said. Then you're concluding to a point that people brought the weapons to destabilize the country in the election. So Yeah. Then I started to scratch my head. I said, But and I thought I was the only person thinking that way.
I did see I went through it today. I was shocked to listen to him. I mean, from the start when he started naming names, calling names, and I
Yeah.
like, how can the inspector general call names in the middle of investigation? That's first thing. Second to that, I'm thinking, well, the inspector general also like, that really killed my spirit when he started calling names of those they have arrested. They went to a full G4 committee in Brewerville. They've arrested people called names. Ladies in Oro was involved, and like, what is the hell are you talking about? Then later on, he came at the end of the something. I want to take you around, drill, ask specialist to drill to the arms and ammunition, tell her what he looked at, and he said, then a closing statement said, if you want to elect George President, don't use arms, use the ballot box. So something tells me that he has some information we don't know about. What we
Yes.
don't know, tell us, IG, Inspector General, what do you know we don't know? And then where the question, that was the whole thing. If I was one of those among those, the journalists, call of press that were there today, the question I'm asking, or pushing to ask the question, IG, could you tell us what you know we don't know?
Yeah,
What
but
people,
as we were saying again, they didn't was stage managed, to a point that the journalists did not even have that much time to actually ask, and I think yes, I mean
Hello.
I don't know about
I
they
Let's
think
have
go.
no
Jerry is in. Jerry, welcome. We can't see you live. I think we are not seeing your video, but I say if you still want to remain in the back, we can still listen to you. Go on, sir. Welcome
Gerald,
to.
do you hear us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you guys, but I don't know what's going on with my camera. That's it.
Okay. I know you using computer, eh?
Yeah, I'm on my
Okay.
laptop here, but I know what's going on. It's the camera, the
Yeah.
webcam giving me a hard time. That's all.
Oh, okay. I think there is I don't know what type of computer you're using, but I have Lenovo. So if you go to the small the not the mini keyboard, the keyboard, but those small button there at the top, you can
Mm.
see camera sound, you can see a microphone sound. So now mistakenly your finger can hit the camera, and then you can the
Well,
camera should be
that's
on my
honorable.
computer. The camera is on F8. So I don't know.
That honorable Scummy come in. I think.
Yeah, but yeah, you can just come in. Gerald, we've been going through this thing, and so many questions to be answered than what we see. So I don't know how you what is your take on the whole issue?
He's coming by. He's struggling to come back. So yeah, like why he trying to come back on Linford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do these things to let the community, the Liberians know that we should not be fooled anymore.
Yes,
We should dig deep into it. That's our job here. We sit there and tell them from all angles. Why are they telling us? This is how they keep fooling us and bring up our heads against each other. They will tell you this is a situation for the interest of themselves, to their own personal interest. They will bring something that they'll tell you and tell me it's not the same. At the end of the day, we'll say, why should we be fighting each other? This is what's happening right now. At the middle of someone for sake of power or whatever they're doing or whatever intention those arms were brought into the country. But you and myself know those arms will not be brought into that country with our proper authority concern. It's not possible in a period
yes,
of time.
and that I can attest to because,
That's not
like I
possible.
said, I'm a student of maritime. I know exactly how the industry operates. My friend. No, even logistics as a whole, land, sea, and air. Okay, you cannot send anything without proper documentation. That's why if you go to DHL, you want to send a passage or parcel, you want the address of the person who will receive it, and will also ask you what's in here.
The
You got to
thing is,
declare.
yeah, the thing you talk about, you know what happened? They will
Uh,
put that container in a position, in a place where it reads while in a laser, it lays through. It
yeah,
lays.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It tells you what every item on it, just like going through the airport security. They put your bag, everything on you, metal, they put on so to go through your check. Somebody sitting there checking what is in there. So it's just not easy to detect the arm and ammunition and going to the country, a container going to a legal way of getting into the country.
I say when you go to the port, UK you got a lot of ports, but one of my best experiences while waiting for Gerald, we just one of my best experiences was in two ports in Europe. The largest port in Europe, where all cars, every car will drop anywhere in Europe comes at, is in Zeebrugge. in
Is that-
Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the largest port for all cars. All cars coming entering Europe. Then the largest port in all of Europe is Amsterdam. I mean Rotterdam. Okay, we drove around that port for 3 hours in a bus. We visited
Just
every area
look
in
at this.
Rotterdam.
Yeah. Zeebrugge, I say, okay, there is that the one next to is that one next to Antwerp? Is that Antwerp or Brussels?
No, the Zeebrugge, I think Zeebrugge should be in it's in Belgium though, Zeebrugge. But then Rotterdam, the port of Rotterdam is the largest port in Europe. And that port, I mean, I went there, I'm more open. You know, there is where you got the containers, they got these small flat top carts. They just put the container on top of it like and they thing are crossing, like one go so the other one coming so, and they will meet at a certain point. How those things know that one other container is coming, it will start the other one part, just like somebody directly. So I asked the guy who was leading on, he said, no, those things are connected to wires under the ground, you know, they are remote control. So they know, they get sensor that the other one is coming, the container is there, and then store it. Oh, Gerald, welcome. So when those things carry the container, they will put it in a particular place. Then the structural carriers will take it and just set it down. They are in line, going through that laser. They are in line. They want kind of check it, pass. No, nothing bad inside pass. And then when I get it will blow alarm. Then they'll take it and put it one side. I'll give you a short story before I bring Gerald in. In Norway, we always send container. One of my friends sent container because there was a TV inside. That TV was condemned by Norway. It cannot go anywhere. Okay, it got a yellow label on it. When any TV that got a yellow label, it's full class TV, is condemned. That TV on a container. They loaded that container here with forecast. It went to Germany. Okay, they send that, they entered that container. They put for that one TV. They entered the whole container. Forecast with that container all stuck up. They enter everything. Then to reload that container, they have to end up using 3 extra containers. The container that we load, they loaded for forecast for one container. They loaded 3 containers to send back, and that guy have to pay for those 3 extra containers to come back here to Norway for one simple TV. So that somebody will put one container from where America and get to Liberia like that, when they can send whole container back for TV. So, but Gerald, let's say welcome to you. You are not new to Liberian politics. You are not new to what happened in Liberia. I think we all been around for a while now, and we've seen some of these things. What's your take? Have you heard about the arms that were confiscated, reportedly confiscated by the police?
You know, when he said, Mr. Cummings, why you are laughing? You know, I've joined the presidential race now.
Welcome, brother.
So
I'm going to no, let me go by.
we got 2 commies coming in now, yeah.
So you're gonna have Shed Totman, like the days of Shed Totman and Winston Totman. So it's gonna be Gerald Cummings, Alexander Cummings.
So what's are you going independent?
No, I just gonna split the group they have. That's just.
Yeah, but no, you're gonna serve as a backup for your brother. When your brother meet there at the end of the day, you can say, "Let me tell all my vote over to him."
But you know, let me say good afternoon to you guys. I listened to you Elliot on and Cholo Play and Jamal. Look, this situation, this one is one of the most laughable one as compared to Charles Julu incident where he said, I just want to play my tape. This one is just laughable because Linford, man, our borders are porous. Who will want to bring arm and ammunition in the country to destabilize the country that will want to come through the Freeport of Monrovia? Why? So like Jamal said earlier on, somebody in the system know what they're doing. But it's not a strange ball game. If you go back to the days of Flans Zamington to come to General Jallo and the late General Charles Julu, the incident that Madame Salih said they wanted to overthrow the government, it's not strange. So this is where the opposition leaders got to be proactive. Go back few months back and listen to Solomon George. He said something. And the public, you know, for me, I copy these videos so that tomorrow the guys can say, no, we didn't say this thing, or we never said these things. Solomon George, in an exclusive with the journalist, said that there are people that want to unseat this government or overthrow President Weah. In few months, we heard the chief of staff of the Republic of Liberia saying that he's been in conversation with people that have been asking him to overthrow the president without giving us any clue. So it's like he too sound like, you know, when Grady Addison said, before Doe leave, I will be the first person to go. You got to get me before you get Doe. Later, they didn't know that even Doe were waiting for him to go. So Liberians are not fools, like Jamal said. Technology has improved over the years for somebody to fool us this way. Liberians should be calling for thorough investigation. We want to know the culprits. We want to know which state the container came from in America here. I mean, I worked in shipment before, so I mean, nothing will pass a conveyor belt or through the computer without you knowing the barcode, the location and destination of that item. It's just unfortunate that, like you said, the journalists in there at the time, only one person asked a very important question that the IG said, we cannot display what is in the container before you. But listen, my friend, you brought this thing in the public.
Into the public.
And one other bad PR for them was to start telling people details about the arms.
Yeah, see.
Go to the situation with Flanzamington. The government was not in the business of telling people what the 50 caliber would do, even though they displayed the 50 caliber Jeep on Broad Street. But they never told us what the 50 caliber Jeep would do. And these guys were giving detailed information. And some of them were touching the arms with our gloves.
Exactly.
So you've been damaging.
Let me tell you once more before you continue.
Yes, sir.
They got the arms in less than 48 hours, but they know all the technical details. And those arms are new arms that they don't even have in the police. Continue.
Yeah, but he said, I think he introduced one of the guys who was displaying the arm as an instructor.
Yeah.
So probably he got some knowledge. But that was a bad PR for them. And then listen to the guys from the Liberia News Agency. Look, I watched details. The guy from the Liberia News Agency, what do they call him?
Kwame Weeks.
Kwame Weeks. Listen to his intro.
Yeah.
To his question. You will understand that no journalist will go to such a sensitive interview and will want to do a PR, public relation work. That intro describing, it was out of order. So from there, I concluded that, look, man, we have seen so many investigations in Liberia, but this other investigation, the opposition political parties leaders need to be proactive. Very proactive. You remember Firebally was gunned down in front of his house. Madam Salif said they were going to investigate that case. What became of Firebally? Firebally was a political leader. He was a presidential candidate in the 2005 election.
Yeah.
What became of that story? Nothing. With the porous nature of our borders and the proliferation of ghettos in the country, my brother, those arms you see, somebody in the system knows something. Because if this government will be swift to catch arms, then this government will be swift to investigate the auditors, the death of the auditors, the death of Mr. Totman, who was allegedly killed in his home.
And Mr. Tobo as well.
And Mr. Tobo as well. Okay. So Lympha, man, you've been around. You know how these things play, but this other story, I mean, it can't resonate at all.
Yeah, but let me ask you. Let me ask you. The RG is the number one man who is leading this investigation.
Mhm.
But at the end of the inspection of the weapons, his closing remarks, he will rather encourage Liberians not to panic.
Okay. Let me
That
play it. Let me
okay,
play it.
yeah,
Let me play this. So we can. This is
yeah, then we can
interesting.
play around.
Yeah, it just may. I'll hold on.
Okay, make sure you get it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we
Yep.
can have a dead air. So while Paul is trying to find out in there, let's read this comment here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, put it up, Jima. The last comment. It says, thanks for this wonderful show because they really need to tell us, especially with gun running saga behind old man Sam Simon. Now, old man Sam Simon, I believe he's the NSA, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and the guy, the what the brother is saying, the guy, you see, Liberians are informed. Gone are the days, are the tournament days when people did not know all the details. But trust me, what we're doing here tonight, a lot of people will understand and will have these documents, the recordings forever and ever. People will make reference to it. So Sam Sion have had gun running saga behind him, and he's in the NSA, or top man too. So it's
And
about
just to have you informed, that Saint Sion had
mm,
a legal issue in this country.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah, America.
yeah.
Okay.
They had a
Now,
legal issue here before. So I mean, no, we like Mr. Cummings said, nobody's stupid here.
yeah, but Jima, I mean, Gerald,
Mhm.
let me ask this other question, or let me just let's discuss this aspect of it. Alleging that according to the RT, that this scheme for America, eh? and knowing the kind of country America is, that is that has zero tolerance for terrorism activities around the world, that they will
Mhm.
even go outside after all the leaders and get them out when they suspect them. Eh? Do you think America would have just allowed Bob, I don't know, Bob, waiting Boy Baker to transport arms like that as a private citizen who is not connected, who has nothing to defend, like he got no interest that he's going to defend with guns? You think it's easy to just get those things out? I mean, you work in shipping transport or something like that before.
The first thing, the thing here is this: once somebody in the system notice that arm or ammunition is in a particular container,
Mm-hmm.
they they will flag the information.
Right.
All that documents will be they're gonna make sure they forward it to management forwarding the document to the police, and they know they know exactly whose house, the location, the destination of that container.
Yeah, because the ship security service will get in contact with the national
That's
police.
the first thing they're gonna do. Okay, then they will start informing the Liberian government that somebody is bringing arm in the country. So it's kind of featured,
Hmm.
very, very featured. And if you listen to the IG, he said we want to. He extended thanks and appreciation to the U.S. government. So the question is, Mr. IG, who gave you this information? Who gave you the tip off? Was it the U.S. government? If the U.S. government gave you the tip off, why they allow the container to leave
To
from the
leave,
U.S.
yeah.
to enter into Liberia?
That's right.
Okay, if they gave you the information, then they shouldn't have allowed it to come. Remember, go back
Knowing who
to
they are.
go back to the Thomas Kuwankwa coup. Listen to the lady who's doing the narrative there. The U.S. government gave Doe an idea of the coup plotters. Okay, tipping off that there was going to be a coup. So if they're giving these guys information, why are they waiting after investing whole lot of money in the security sector, most especially NSA and ECOWAS or the UN. Why would they allow it continue to leave from here?
Yeah.
And
Under the name of a private citizen.
Yes.
Who lives in that America can trace any hour.
Right. Let me roll this.
You got it.
Ambassador, to the ambassador, need to help us to understand, to have a vivid picture of this entire narrative, because it's scaring.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back to the ambassador thing you just mentioned. Let's keep it back our head so we can't forget. Paul wrote a video. Let's see.
These weapons, you can check it and see it brand new. So these are the barrels the weapons came in. Okay, if you look at this, the lady that was arrested, Barbara's name and telephone number is on this particular. So if you look at, if you might want to know what is in there, these are all cleaning material to clean all of these weapons. The lubricant, everything is cleaning money, the cleaning rod, everything in here to clean these weapons. So, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we would like to thank you for coming, and would like to assure you, the general public, that the security network in Liberia is strong. We are doing everything to ensure that our people are safe, and we can reassure our people that come the election October 10th, that election will be very peaceful. We are doing everything working around the clock to ensure that our people be in safety. Many people are thinking that, oh, the election will be violent. If you have that in mind to make our election violent, please have a second thought. The joint security will come for you. We will get you. We use our intelligence and got this cash arm. We will use our intelligence to get you. So we are appealing to the Liberian people, please, if you have any dissatisfaction about anybody, deal with them at the ballot box, but don't deal with them using these guns. Do not use the barrel of the gun. Use the strength of your pen to ensure that you put whosoever out you don't want to be represented in your country. So what you do, go to the ballot box, then the anchor at the ballot box, but please, Liberian, let us all desist for war. War is not the answer. This.
Okay, so we heard the RG clearly. If you dissatisfied with anybody and you want to get it out, go to the ballot box, but do not use these guns. So conclusively, any rational mind would believe that these guns have actually come, according to the RG, to be used to destabilize the electoral process.
Yes, we've been saying this over and over. There's no link with the election to this gun. So that's why I've said the RG must have some information we don't know. It's good that he tells us what he knows, because he has given some information that are not should be given, like displaying the name of a potential suspect alleged to be part of that game, the name or telephone number. Professional. Those are things that breach of security. Investigation has already been compromised. So there are a lot of things he need to answer. If I was George, I would sack him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I would definitely sack him, because he's not a competent IG. Those information is being releasing right now. They are very, very crucial information that can get us a lead. But I think the whole thing stays managed. You can see that.
Did you see Moses? Did you see anybody see Moses Carter's body language? He wanted to say something. Moses Carter went to him and said, "No, no." Then you're scratching. Then Moses Carter starts scratching his head. Like,
Yeah, but we know how the whole thing wrong. So, like you're saying, in a work, I mean, Honorable Cummings is here, you here, we're all here. We know now, even any intelligent person or smart person will understand that these are all been managed in a way to also believe that somebody is trying to destabilize Liberia, which is not true. And somebody knows something. So we wait. And I'll tell you, this is a DOA. They're on arrival. We're not going to hear anything about this anymore. And after 2-3 weeks, definitely they will tell you, well, we stay investigating. The president told us a couple of weeks back, they were investigating $16 billion. They were investigating other issues that are in the country. It will be investigated until 2027. So that's the end of it.
yeah, Gerard.
Yeah, like Jamal said, the investigation process, we wait to see what will be the outcome. The issue of the president sitting at the church, Bishop Wingard Church, to tell the Liberian people that journalists who wrote that 16 billion got missing, those journalists were going to be a part of the investigation. And just to have you guys informed, the journalist that he was talking about, Philip Brown, I worked with him in Benin, Nigeria for 9 years. And I'm the only person who's still playing that tape over and over. Look, what happened to the situation that former lawmakers and current lawmakers said that they were going to take Philip Brown to court when he said that, some of our lawmakers and government officials were going to a particular place and Thomas Fowler was the ranked leader who were distributing money. What happened to that investigation? Nothing. The IG says something. He said the security or the joint security is active. Okay, if this joint security is active, then here is what we want this joint security to do. We want to go back to the auditor's story. If you're so proactive, ask the president who sat in a church and said they were doing boyfriend and girlfriend business. If this joint security is so active, it's forceful, it's on top of their game, this joint security must put together a team. For you are in the country when the cattle camp massacre occurred. That investigation was done, from start to end, and we knew who the perpetrators were. The investigation concerning the Dupo Road massacre, we know who killed the people on Dupo Road. The September 18th situation, we knew the perpetrators. So we expect in this dispensation, this age and time, for these guys who claim that they are proactive to give us an investigation that is satisfactory to the Liberian people, that nobody will speculate. But for now, the speculative views will be hard because we do not trust the security.
Let's we will be closing in 2 minutes or so. Let's look at this the involvement of the name of the Americans. So you think the American ambassador will actually come out? We just speculating. Will actually come out, or will they just say, "Well, we differ with the people"? Or do we expect anything from the Americans?
I think Macron is one of those ambassadors like Leonard Thomas Greenfield, Ambassador Leonard Thomas Greenfield. Ambassador Macron will not hold back. He's not. Look, I see, when I see him, I see Leonard Thomas Greenfield, Ambassador Leonard Thomas Greenfield. So they said, the IG said, we want to extend our thanks and appreciation to the Americans who've been supporting us throughout the process. So the opposition political leaders now should write ECOWAS, the AU, EU, and the U.S. embassy or the U.S. government, calling on them for a full investigation.
When you talk about
a few months to go to the election, if
Yeah,
the opposition
I'll use it
leaders,
like I'll use it like I'm interviewing you now, or any of you guys here. Uh, do you think the oppositions should take one stance on this thing, regardless of their interests or political interest, or should they do individual things? Because the reason I'm asking this question, I was on a talk show yesterday. Someone was attacking me. Oh, yeah, they calling your political leader. You're not going to attack the people who call you. So I said, we are intelligent people. Okay, accusation will not just go and start like our leader is guilty. So, should the opposition come together as a unit on this particular topic and do something, or should they take individual steps if we were to make our recommendations?
I think that they should have a united front. Let me go
Yeah.
back to something historical here.
Mm-hmm.
The death of Robert Phillips happened, what led to his death happened because Emmett Hammond said Robert Phillips was cheating. And Robert Phillips was never working with the National Elections Commission. The man was sitting few feet away from those who were doing the tallying. Samuel Doe people went for Robert Phillips and
beheaded that man.
So this should ring a bell.
History.
Should ring a bell in the ears of all the opposition leaders. I think they should have a united front. And if that united front cannot hold, those of us who support a particular candidate, and I support Mr. Cummings, I will be calling on him to put a team of crack lawyers together and call on the international community for a total, for a comprehensive investigation into this matter. We can't forget, because the writings are on the wall.
Yeah.
Solomon George said it, the chief of staff said it, and Senator Prince Yellow Johnson
said
told
it.
us.
Yeah.
So we're not sleeping. The writing is on the
and then
wall.
the RG is
There's no way you can dodge it.
already suspecting ahead of the conclusion of the investigation that these arms were supposed to be used to destabilize the country. Jima, do you agree that the opposition should unite on this one? Or Paul, do you have the same view?
That what Honorable Cummings is saying is, even now when they're uniting, it has to do with the country as a whole. We talk about Liberia. It's not only the armed issue. We suffered rally shooting. There's another stand-up point where opposition should have come together. Despite the difference in terms of manifesto policies, Liberia stands all. Liberia stands beyond every one of us. So I think it's even almost an understatement to say they should come together. They should be making press statement at a time to make sure that they call to book whoever is responsible. So they should be sounding the alarm right now to let them know that the investigation should continue. Like what Mr. Kumi said, Joro said, was to get those authorities involved, like the AU, the ECOWAS, and the American government involved, that they are aware. If they are aware of this, how can we resolve this? Or else the end result is it will come after them. That's why leading to. That's why we see from the company, the statement from the IG.
Okay, guys, I think our time is fast spent, and I will personally believe that by now the opposition, even though they are not together publicly for people to see, but I think the guys have been making some telephone calls. Because I trust in their ability. There are wise guys there. We got Councilor Gonglo, who is a legal man. We got Mr. Cummings, who is the silent guy, the silent storm, the silent lion. We got old man Boaka, who should be the guru right there to give the advice. Then we get loud voices like Benona, you read there. So we think, I will not discredit them for now. I would think that they may have started some conversations, not to come together, but to take a united stand on this thing. That, no, hey, listen, according to what, if they had not thought about it, we are educating them now, we are telling them now that the particular statement made by Patrick Sube at the end of this whole episode is directed at the opposition, but because the question is who wants to remove the government from power, whether legally or illegally. That's the opposition. It can't be the government removing itself. So I think our political leaders should take cue from right here and do something about this one. Guys, your final closing word, 1 minute each, then we leave.
Man, if somebody have a bunch of model soldiers ex-model soldiers providing security for them, and they went to an election process, they found that they were cheating. They didn't bring arms in the country, or never brought arms in the country. Today, when the table start to turn and they seen a winning candidate, They are jittering. They are afraid. Lincoln will go to the ballot box. The answer will be on the wall. We go into an election free and fair. Nobody will thwart this system. Nobody will thwart this system. Liberians should not be afraid. Nobody. Look, there are guys in this ruling establishment. We knew then from 2005. They know how to put fear in the masses. We'll encourage our people. We'll encourage our leaders engaged in that international community. And Liberians shouldn't be afraid. Nobody want to destabilize that country at all. Nobody. Until they can prove us wrong, nobody.
And this election might just turn out to be one of the fairest elections, because the 1997 election, because of fear that something will happen. So the international community might even step in before time, and it might be very, very fair. Do you imagine that the only election that I have seen in Liberia that they use clear plastic ballot boxes, that when you're dropping the paper, everybody can see it going in? Our 1997 election. Paul, your final?
Yeah, I would say thanks for our viewers and the band with us. And thanks, Gerald, for coming. I hope we'll have you again. They think it is a scare tactics that the government is using. They're putting fear in the nation, which is that would be my from the playbook. I kept saying is, are they going back to Samuel Doe playbook? Because looking at the writing on his wall, these are things that happened in the 80s. It's like history repeating itself in our very eyes. The police already indicted themselves in this, that they made a conclusion, and that conclusion may actually haunt them. They concluded already that the weapon they found is about people destabilized in the election. And I think that's wrong. And I will go with Jamal's recommendation. Joe, we are need to sack Patrick Sudo. Honestly, he can't do it at this time. They came in on a ballot box. Nobody bring war. Why is it now that coming few months to election, they form guns and there'll be war? What's that? So politicians, they really need to put their act together. Yeah.
Okay, Paul, while Jamal is giving his closing, please try find the music that you want to take us home with today, so that right away you can kick. Oh, Jamal, I know.
I want to just say thank to the Right Reverend TV. I always call him the smart man behind the microphone. I like something I watch. I watch his show a lot of time on the it's telecast that he does the way for music, with some old school music and also some gospel, which I follow a lot. I appreciate you doing well, Gerald, and keep going. And we appreciate you. Once in a while, we need to have you in Europe. At least it's good. Our viewers like to listen to you, and you're always welcome to this show. And thanks for everybody for those.
Thank you. And we are extending the same to you guys as well. I know there's something big in the pipeline for communication. So I'll be reaching out to Linfo, you, Jamal, and Cholo Play.
Yeah, we would love to have you, because the people in Europe would like to open up to ANC. Not only ANC, Liberia, it's about every one of us. We want to see what is good for Liberia. We need to tell the people the real truth beyond all parties in politics. That's about Liberia. So good man like you, always take your time to come up. We really appreciate that. We always want to have you. And all those who follow or who want to follow, who didn't have a chance to come in here tonight, we say thank you for joining us. We want to have you every day. You can always catch on our online radio, our website, and also Facebook and YouTube. Anytime, 247 on this. This is the bottom of Liberia. And we always do our best to inform you about Liberia. Thank you very much and have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to Jamal, for his analysis, also to Paul for his analysis, and then for Gerald. This afternoon I sat and I said, well, when I was trying to put the program together, I said, well, let me just text Gerald, and I left a message with him, and then he managed to come. So we want to say thank you very much, and we'll be reaching out to a wide number of people. And we're having some new viewers here that we seen for the first time. I don't know who is a televangelist or prophet, pastor.
That
and
was
then
Gerald. I think that was Gerald coming out, isn't it?
Gerald was, yeah.
That should be Gerald.
Then we also have all the Southeastern Yorson, and and he made some good comments. And so we like to encourage you next time with this program comes on every Tuesday and Friday for now. We might increase our frequency of broadcast. We're working on that. So we encourage you to be with us every Tuesday, 8 o'clock Central European time. If you're in the US, it will be around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending where you are. In Liberia, it's 6 o'clock p.m. So you are welcome to be with us. Here we discuss the issue from the top to the bottom. We may put in our little feelings and whatever, but we talk the issue as it is. And so, guys, I want to say thank you very much. It was a good show, no doubt. And we really discussed the issue. And at least people will understand what we meant. And we are not responsible for how people will understand it or how they translate it. But at least we made our points, and our points were real. So, Paul, take us home until we be here next Tuesday.
Comment